What's going on, geeks and gamers? We are live on a Saturday with the Gaming with Geeks podcast, and we've got a very special guest with us today. You know him, you love him, the Observant Lineman, verified YouTube account, Mark on Twitter, Uche Waneri. What's going on, Uche?
What's going on, Gaming with Geeks? I'm a gamer. I love video games. Part of the team.
I love Nintendo.
No, Uche is a proud member of the PC Master Race.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Uche was glad enough. You know, he was like, I'm comfortable here. I don't even need to clean up behind me. You know, I just
I'm a green screen just sitting there.
It's a bath curtain hanging behind you. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, it's good to have Uche with us. And we've also got the people who are always here. Me, whatever. But Lethal Lightning. Lethal, how's it going?
I'm happy. I'm starting to grow my emo fringe, so I can look sad for once. Everyone keeps telling me I'm too cheery, so I'm trying to depressing the mood up a bit.
Hey, well, it worked with the way you spoke right there, so I appreciate that. Mark the Cyborg.
Hello.
How are you doing, Mark?
I'm doing okay. I'm currently playing the Cold War beta because Jeremy got me thinking, hey, maybe I can play this while I'm doing the podcast, but I think I'm going to just wrap up this match, focus on this, or else I might end up saying a gamer word.
That's probably a good idea. That is probably a good idea indeed.
I don't say the gamer words. I'm the non-offensive one on Geeks and Gamers, remember?
Don't lie, Mark. Don't lie. And we also have Jeremy, who is not looking at the camera because he's actively playing a video game right now.
Yeah, I'm playing the Cold War beta right now. So if you hear me just randomly saying fuck that motherfucker,
gamer words.
He's talking about me.
I don't have Tourette's. I'm complaining because these fucking motherfuckers are hacking. But hi, everyone. Happy to be here. I'm enjoying the Cold War beta, and I think we're going to talk about it a little bit. I like the Treyarch games a lot. I mean, I know everybody likes the Treyarch games generally. But yeah, we'll talk about it. But happy to be here. I love gaming. I love Nintendo.
Yes, Nintendo. Nintendo is. We've also got some Nintendo rumors for you guys because we've always got a Nintendo rumor.
Definitive edition of the Call of Duty Black Ops was on Nintendo Wii.
Oh God. We do have some super chats already though. Blue Eyed Scorpio at $1.99 says Extra Girl wants to watch Mark and I make out.
Huh?
That's what Blue Eyed Scorpio said.
Okay, yeah, that's a callback from my Metal Gear stream yesterday. He was trying to get me to join the big gay.
There it is. Dragon Ball Chick for Canadian for $3.99. Beep. That's familiar. That picture looks familiar too. I'm not sure who Dragon Ball Chick is, but she says beep in Canadian. And
does she have a wrench?
Yes, she does.
Yeah,
she does have a wrench.
Yeah, so that's Chris's new channel. Go subscribe to Chris's new channel. We got to get her to 1,000 subs.
That's true. Dragon Ball Chick. So that's what it is. And then Venom Snake for Aussie, $2.99 says cover the mic on the PS5 controller with tape. Well, I don't know if that'll quite do it, but
Uche's gonna comment more than he's ever commented because he's got his fucking check mark now. Motherfucker.
Venom Snake is the amputee from Metal Gear Solid 5.
People are gonna see that check mark. Yeah, like you're gonna go chat in random streams and be like, oh man, Uche, oh, check mark. Oh, it's good to see you. I'm a big fan of your channel. They check you out. They're like, he got 9.5K subs.
That's about to explode.
First time I saw Uche comment, I'm like, oh shit, a check mark, man. Dude probably got millions of subs, you know. Hop over there. Motherfucker got like what, 10 at the time?
Like 10. I just started, but I'm verified.
Oh man, good stuff.
Butter Biscuit 92 for $5 says apologies for I'm not political, but I got stuck behind a Trump rally in Newtown, Pennsylvania. It was hilarious. Enough cars to encircle the whole town. I would be fucking pissed if I got stuck behind anyone's rally. I get pissed when somebody cuts me off in traffic. I get pissed when there's a fucking funeral that makes me pull over. So I get really pissed anytime traffic impedes me.
But I see Yellow Flash. What's up, Yellow Flash? We need to get Yellow Flash on for our next Among Us stream, so we will definitely make that happen. He said she's going to be doing Dragon Ball content. Be careful, so much cancer in the Dragon Ball community. Yeah, she's fully aware of how the Dragon Ball community is for sure. It's crazy.
Dragon Ball low T community.
They just gotta, all of them need to train harder.
Wheezy Bird for $2 says, did y'all see the NPD charts for September? I did see the charts for September, and Marvel's Avengers, believe it or not, was the biggest selling game across all platforms for the month of September, at least in terms of sales. And it makes it that much worse that there's virtually no one playing this game now on PC. So I did see that.
Base PC gamers.
Ghost of Tsushima still doing pretty well, to be honest. I think 11th or 12th on that list. So considering all of the new releases that came out in September, pretty impressive. But I don't know if you guys got to see that at all, but no.
I don't check
Fuck that game.
charts. Are NPD showing digital game sales now, or is it still just physical?
It's probably just physical.
It is. No,
so they're
is
useless now at this point.
It's digital, but like some people don't report it. Like fucking any of the Tencent owned things don't report it. No Nintendo, like Nintendo doesn't report it at all. But as far as like normal, like most shit on PlayStation and Xbox, it should be reporting it, even their digital sales. So.
Well, much like Lucasfilm, most of them don't know about the Clone Wars existing. Nintendo doesn't realize they do have digital games to report. They don't even know that they have it. They're like, "Oh wait,
I mean, Nintendo probably feels like we're Nintendo. We ain't got to report shit."
Well, I'm just saying, they're so behind on the fucking internet, so they probably don't even realize they have digital games. What are digital games?
Fuck you. Sorry. Mikey Gusler for $2 says Uche Jeremy compared Zack Snyder to Ryan Johnson last night.
What?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, compared them in no way. Couldn't be that they're similar.
Well, first of all, I like Zack Snyder far more as a director, but specifically, I compared his DCEU to Ryan Johnson's Star Wars.
That is blasphemous.
It's true.
That's not true.
I can't take a TCW
Look at him.
seriously.
Look at him.
I can't even take that serious.
They're trying to get this shit started early to fucking day.
We're not taking the bait. We're not taking the bait.
I got a third Snyder bot on here. So.
It's Mikey that tried to start it. It's not the super chat.
I was honestly though, I'm not saying I don't believe that because I do, but I was more so just trying to bait Ryan. I just wanted to fight with Ryan on Friday night.
He's gonna be hot about this one.
I didn't really take the bait.
Bite the cheese.
Well, basically, anytime he fucking talks, it's pretty easy to just let it go in one ear and out the other. Because typically, whenever he's bringing up Snyder, it's because he's like, there's some other argument he has that's failing, so he just brings up Snyder to try to fucking trigger me. Come on. Venom Snake, Aussie 299, Yellow Flash and Jeremy need to do the fusion dance.
You guys, no, that's a Dragon Ball reference. Fusion.
Yeah, I don't.
Actually, wait, yeah, Lethal.
Fuck you.
Yeah, Lethal and fucking Mark know what they're doing. Yeah, Jeremy's not paying attention today, but
I am paying fucking attention.
Since he's playing Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War, why don't we just start off talking about that? There is an open beta going on right now. I know a couple people here have had a chance to play it. Jeremy, what are your thoughts as you're actively shooting?
I'm enjoying it. I've historically liked the Black Ops games more than the Modern Warfare games. Not to say Modern Warfare 1 and 2 are legendary. My two personal favorites are Black Ops 1 and 2. And I didn't really play 3 or 4 because that was kind of that era where Call of Duty was just so fucking retarded, man. It was terrible. It's slower, which is it's kind of strange because obviously Modern Warfare is a lot quicker. But I like the player mechanics and I'm enjoying the maps and the level design. So overall, I'm digging it so far. I know there's a lot of people that have problems with it, and I'm up to like a rank. What did I say, Mark? Like 15. So I'm playing it pretty good. I'm enjoying
24. You rank up like 2 ranks each game though if you win. Like it's really fast.
Really
double XP's on.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. So, but
double XP in a beta.
I'm enjoying to actually do something.
I'm enjoying it. I still don't really fully, and I'm not the biggest Warzone player, so I don't know how. I know you guys were talking about how they're going to integrate Warzone into this, but I don't really fully understand all that. But I'm enjoying the game.
There is a Warzone tab in the beta menu because honestly, like the UI, the menu is just the exact same one from Modern Warfare. It's like they just changed the backgrounds. They didn't really actually change the UI at all.
Video games.
Yeah, like
change their pictures. They don't actually change the game.
That's the first time Call of Duty's ever done that, though. To my knowledge, I always remember Call of Duty's having different UIs from one to the next, like menus and things like that. But this is basically just exactly Modern Warfare. But when you get into game, it feels a lot different. The time to kill is much longer. Everyone has a health bar, which maybe was in Black Ops 4. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played it. But I don't really like the health bars in a Call of Duty game. I think it's a little strange. But
this is fucking retarded comment in the chat from Planet Musk Vlog.
What?
Gave y'all 10 minutes. Gotta get on with my day. Gave up on gaming to build a life. Why would you click on a stream called Geeks and Gamers? Fucking hell, man. Autism is a serious
month. So he thinks.
All right, I'm backing out. I'm backing out.
We do appreciate that you gave us 10 minutes. It's more than some of the people on the panel could ever give. So we do appreciate that, Planet Musk. But yeah, get on with your life, I suppose. Venom Snake, Mikey Gusser for another $5 says, I feel Valhalla will sell less units than Odyssey. There doesn't seem to be much enthusiasm for the game, or at least a week before Cyberpunk 2077.
I think Valhalla's in trouble.
I don't really care about that game.
I don't think it's in trouble. I do feel like it will do less units than Odyssey, but you have to remember Odyssey sold a fucking shit ton. It really did, and it's still played by a decent amount of people today even. So I do think it'll do less than that, but it being up against Cyberpunk is not a good thing. They didn't anticipate that when they announced their release date. So
yeah, I find it strange that they're launching Watch Dogs Legion kind of at the same time, because that's another big like Ubisoft open world game. Like they're competing against themselves. And I was watching like some impressions, because apparently a bunch of like the YouTube people have gotten like 5 hours to play Valhalla, and like Young at least had like nothing good to say about it. He was just like basically he was trying to, in a very politically correct way, say this game absolutely sucks.
Yeah, he's probably one of the most like even keel kind of people who covers the video game industry.
Yeah, I
watch a lot of his videos. He tries to be unbiased. Yeah.
I watched Skillup's review of it from months ago.
He's a bitch. So
yeah, young out. I watched. I forget whether it was Layman Gaming or Skillup himself did a review of it months ago, like that early copy that they all got. And I mean, he was okay on it. You know what I mean? He said there was definitely some changes, some things that made you legit feel like a Viking, that made it a little different from Odyssey. But at the end of the day, this is just a reskinned Odyssey. That's what this game is.
That's what it kind of feels like.
That's what this game is. So for Assassin's Creed, you know what you're going to get. You know you're going to get repetitive combat. You know you're going to get set in a quasi-historical situation. And if you dig the story, then you dig the story. If you dig the gameplay, you dig the gameplay. And that's what this is. It's the same thing we saw in Odyssey. So
it seems like the stealth AI is like absolutely broken beyond repair. Like to the point that I doubt they're going to be able to do much to it in the next, less than a month that it comes out. Isn't it November 10th for?
Yeah, there's nothing they can do about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's just things like an enemy walking right past them while they're sneaking and not seeing them, and then other enemies spotting them from like across the map and like having no visible way to see them, but then all of a sudden they're in an alert status. I'm like, well, that's a pretty fundamental problem for a game that has the word assassin in the title. Like I know the last couple Assassin's Creed games have been more action games than stealth games, but you'd think they'd at least try a little. Like
I feel like they kind of moved away from that, from the core stealth principles of the franchise, just because they were broadening up the scope of what they were trying to present story-wise and with history. So, you look at ancient Greece, there's not a huge record of an assassin culture or anything like that, like you found in the earlier versions of the games. So, I mean, I can get it now. It's just kind of the mantle of Assassin's Creed, but it's really different kinds of games now.
People want the open world RPG stuff. Like that's what they want, and they're trying to push more for that and get more actual RPG elements in it. And even though the core fan base doesn't like the way they're going, unfortunately, they're selling more games this way. Like I said with Odyssey, even with Origins, it still sold well, even though it wasn't very well received. So I just think that's what we're going to continue to see. Now, they did say they wanted to add more stealth elements and more options. Like when you're taking over these castles and shit, there's multiple different ways to do it. You can go kind of the stealth route, the ghost route, as we like to say, in Ghost of Tsushima, or you can take the head-on kind of action route. But I suppose we'll see when that comes out. Ace Fury for $5 says Young is a Soiny simp.
To a degree, yeah, that's like, I mean, he definitely is a PlayStation fan. He does still play games on other platforms though, and I think like Uche kind of nailed it. Young, at least when it comes to gaming, he tries to approach things from an unbiased starting point. That doesn't mean he doesn't like slide into his bias. If you follow him on Twitter though, and he starts talking about politics, he's like super biased. So that's I think why Jeremy is not a fan.
All games are good, guys. Okay, can we stop with the console wars? All gaming is good. Okay, we can't be disrespectful. PS5 is good. Xbox Series X/S is good. Nintendo Switch is good. PC is good. Gaming is good. Okay, fuck people like this. By the way, okay, competition.
I mean, but he's not lying. Competition is what has made all of those good. They're competing with each other. That's
yeah, but it's saying it's the whole like, oh, you can't be a fan of something. Fuck off. Okay,
you can be a fan of one thing if you want.
Talk shit. Okay, we talk shit about shit. Fuck PC.
That's competition. Talking shit to each other.
I'm the worst,
Snyder.
really.
Fuck all these people that are on the panel that love Snyder. Clone Wars for life. Fuck you. And then they're going to say it right back to me. Okay? And they're going to say it right back to me. But fuck this.
I don't even have to say the insults. You just said Clone Wars for life. I don't need to insult you at all. All I need to take is that video clip.
I've seen all of these all Star Wars is good Star Wars people on Twitter, and this is the same type of shit. All gaming is good gaming. Fuck off.
Yeah,
fuck off with that. That is such a
weak
ass thing to say.
All games are good because they're competing with each other. And it is like a console war. Yeah, it is. Every time they drop a new generation. And that's why they're all good, because they all bring their best shit to the table. Look at EA Sports. EA Sports has a fucking football game that has been dog shit for the last fucking 6-7 years. And why? Because ain't nobody competing with them, because they got the exclusive fucking license. And until somebody can compete with them, they're going to continue to be dog shit. I can't stand playing Madden. I can't stand playing it, but it's the only football game to play.
The
competition makes everybody good.
Doesn't Doug Flutie have one coming out now?
No, it's out, and it's actually a solid game. But it's dude. There's less than 10 people who develop it. EA has $1 billion and 800 people, and they can't seem to fucking make a good football game. How is that possible?
I'm missing that. It's unfair.
Checks are us, motherfuckers.
Problem with the 800-person Madden development team is 790 of them are doing marketing, and 10 of them are actually making the game.
10 are actually working on it. Dude, they've had 25 updates since the game has been released. 25 updates.
Yellow Flash. Yellow Flash. I'm about to replace all 3 of these fuckers with Yellow Flash. We get some common sense up in this motherfucker. Yellow Flash. That's what's up. Getting rid of Uche, getting rid of Ryan, getting rid of Lethal. All the motherfuckers bringing Yellow Flash in.
So you're ableist, racist, and homophobic.
Yellow Flash is hungover as fuck, or maybe he's still drunk when he sends his super chat. Says everyone puts Snyder on a pedestal. I would say Snyder fans do. I wouldn't say it's everyone. Yet BVS is a huge pile of dog shit. Snyder Cut will be the same turd with new scenes. First of all,
I'm not gonna make fun of mental illness.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
even though
it's not make fun of people with disabilities today.
First of all, Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, not a huge pile of dog crap. If you want to argue that the theatrical version is messy, I can't argue the theatrical version is messy, but the Ultimate Edition is not. The Snyder Cut of Justice League is not just going to be the same thing with a couple new scenes. It's not it.
Yeah,
they fucking,
clearly They put 100 million into it.
They only used 15 to 20% of what Snyder initially shot for that. The rest was completely reshot. It's a whole new fucking movie. So I can't agree with you.
When people sit there and talk about the Ultimate Edition, so next time you go to the grocery store, you buy like an out of date, gallon of milk, and you take it back, and they're like, "Oh, let me just add another half a gallon of out of date milk to improve this bullshit." You just gave me 30 more minutes of bullshit that I already hated.
Not out of date.
It's fucking trash.
Civil War is an out-of-date movie. Civil War is a movie that nobody talks about or cares about.
Here's a guy
5 years later.
Here's a guy that represents nothing in what Superman stands for. Here's fucking Batman, who's literally Murder Man.
Don't bite the cheese,
the only good scenes in the movie are his stunt double.
The cheese. We're not gonna argue with this bullshit he's trying to fucking rile me up.
Everybody's like, Ben Affleck's a great Batman, and they show the scene of his fucking stunt double, which is the only fucking good scene in that movie of his stunt double. It was a stunt double in the warehouse scene. That wasn't Ben Affleck.
What about Ben Affleck doing the CrossFit in the back?
Star Wars Clone Wars is hot garbage bullshit.
I don't want to talk about that. Listen, stop fucking bringing that shit in. That doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Video games.
Jeremy, your example of chugging more out of date milk is stupid. A good example, if you want to use that, you go to the fucking store and you buy a book, and this book literally was supposed to be 500 pages. And instead, it's 350 pages with some of them torn out and put in different spots. That would be the equivalent of the theatrical cut of BVS, right?
It's not even in the same order.
That's what I fucking said. But the theatrical edition is that full fucking book the way it was intended to be read. The Snyder cut is even more so. You take that 500-page book, and Joss Whedon comes in, rips out 400 pages of it, and writes 400 pages of new shit to fill in, right? That doesn't match anything that happened before, and that doesn't connect to anything after.
Name another director who can't release every fucking director in Hollywood has to release a film under 3 hours in fucking Hollywood. Every fucking name a fucking director that gets you just make a 3.5 hour.
The director
Peter Jackson.
Endgame.
Peter
Jackson.
Wait a minute. So Peter Jackson, that was
Let's hear this one.
Hang on. So you're the Lord of the Rings was all shot at one time. All those movies were shot at one time.
So they could have made 5 movies that were 2 hours each instead of 3 that were 3.5
all of them.
each.
Now, I have never heard anybody say, man, Peter Jackson's original vision was so shitty with those theatrical releases, but wait until you get the director's cut.
No.
Peter Jackson made a great film.
Vision was presented as he made it.
Snyder's
vision was castrated before he even got to announce an ultimate edition.
So Christopher Nolan made 3 films under WB, and they all were successful, and everybody loves them. But WB ruined Snyder. But Patty Jenkins was able to make a great film. Aquaman was a well-received film.
Why?
I like how you said a great film and then a well-received film because I enjoyed
Aquaman. I enjoyed Aquaman.
Listen, your argument is completely out of context of what the actual reality is. Because the fact of the matter is, when Zack Snyder's movies got castrated, it was because the executives at WB were so worried about what Marvel was doing. Once they got past that point of worrying about what Marvel was doing, which was literally, as we all witnessed Justice League become a turd that it was, all the directors of every movie they made after that was like, no, we're releasing what we make. And what happened? The head of WB stepped down, the one who was the major reason as to why this shit got castrated. He wanted to get his bonus, so he decided to, push a Justice League movie through that was pure hot garbage. And all their knee-jerk reactions to the Marvel MCU and the way that they were working their system is the reason why Zack Snyder, in his vision, was destroyed. Once it was clear to the rest of the world that this is studio meddling that has made these movies what they are, they had to correct course.
Every fucking director has studio meddling. Literally every director not named
That's not true.
Literally every director not named Christopher Nolan has studio meddling, including Steven Spielberg.
They interjected in Zack Snyder's vision in a knee-jerk reaction to what somebody else was doing.
Every director has studio meddling. Every director. Every single fucking director.
So
has
what? So tell me one movie that Steven Spielberg has done that's been meddled with by the
dude.
Oh, Americans are fucked.
Dude, are you
Right?
telling me Steven Spielberg has free reign to do whatever he wants?
Absolutely.
Look at the BFG, that shit fuck movie from Disney that failed
Absolutely.
miserably.
Doesn't
That
matter if
failed
it fails.
miserably.
It's his
And then,
failure
like,
on his vision, not on anybody else's.
Look at Into Darkness with J.J. Abrams, who's considered to be one of the most powerful people in Hollywood. They post-converted it to 3D against J.J. Abrams' wishes. Look what happened to J.J. on Rise of Skywalker.
Did they change the movie? They made it 3D. You can go watch it in 3D, or you can go watch it in 2D.
They literally
look
what they did to the Rise of Skywalker. Look what they did to Rise of Skywalker to him.
Yeah, that's studio meddling, and you see exactly what happened there, right?
It happens to
It
every
made it
director.
hot garbage bullshit.
Happens to every director in Hollywood.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. It happens.
You're telling me
MCU
MCU directors have full
It happens
control?
when a studio doesn't know what the fuck they want to do.
So then, how did we get successful Harry
Just
Potter
like
films?
Daisy Ridley said,
How
they didn't know what the fuck they wanted to do, and that's why y'all got what y'all got.
So WB gave us 9 Harry Potter films successfully, but the studio meddling is just out of control.
Studio didn't touch those movies. They let the vision of those movies represent themselves.
You're telling me the studio had no involvement, no say so in the Harry Potter
studio
films?
did not force that series of movies to do things that it didn't want to do.
How do you know that?
Because you got a good product.
That doesn't mean the MCU meddles with their filmmakers all the time.
In which movies have they done that?
Every fucking movie.
Like what? Explain one.
The
Articulate
entire MCU is micromanaged by Kevin Feige and Disney.
And Ant-Man's a pretty good example of that. They fired Edgar Wright from Ant-Man.
Yes, Edgar Wright.
Ant-Man, right? They fired him because they didn't agree. They didn't like
Peyton
what he was
Reed
doing,
had
right?
Peyton Reed had no creative control.
But whoever stepped in to make the movie was allowed to make their movie.
No, they were not under Kevin Feige.
But everybody knows that Kevin Feige is the brainchild of that. So it's already an agreement that you come into the situation knowing that that's what is going to happen. You know what you're getting into. The WB handed Zack Snyder to DCEU, and then they went back behind his back and started casting.
Ryan, are you the moderator?
You Snyder fans are so delusional. Oh my God.
I'm not delusional. You have to call you guys got to call it what it is.
So then
they stepped in and made him change the entire order of the movie.
Why did we get a director's cut? Why did we get a director's cut after the fact on Lord of the Rings if Peter Jackson had full control?
Peter Jackson agreed to have a movie at a certain
answer
point.
Me this. Why did we get a director's cut?
Every film in the history of filmmaking has a director cut.
Exactly my point.
That's not. But
we
that
lost
is,
Gary. Everybody, Gary gave us a chance. And he's gone now.
That's more of a rough completion draft of the movie than it is the actual movie. Every filmmaker makes a movie that's like 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes longer than they already know they're going to make it.
Filmmaker has to have a director's cut, meaning Snyder.
No, they all have one. Whether or not it gets released or not is up to the studio.
Couldn't make a good film under the prearranged set that he was allowed. You can't release a 3-hour movie in theaters. Not even Nolan can fucking do that.
Yes, you can. Endgame is over 3 hours long. So what are you talking about?
After 10, 15 years of building a cinematic universe, yes, fucking Man of Steel didn't even make
Schindler's List was like 4 hours long. What Schindler's List? You ever seen that movie? That's like a 4-hour long movie.
About name the superhero film that's been released a 3-hour cut. And was Endgame really? Did it top 3 hours?
Yeah, it was over 3 hours. It was like 3 hours and like what 10 minutes, something like that.
I don't think so.
Somebody check that out.
I don't think so.
3 hours and 2 minutes.
3 hours and 2 minutes. So that's with credit. So again,
he did technically get
3 hours.
Right. Again, the fucking first Avengers movie wasn't 3 hours.
How much money did that movie make? How much money did Endgame make?
Wait, the studio meddled Endgame?
I said, how much money did Endgame make?
Right. So now the MCU is our standard for movies now. Uche?
No, you said that no superhero movie.
So the Avengers game is pretty shit, huh?
All right. Speaking of video games, because I'm fucking tired of this shit. Speaking of video games, let me get these super chats. We're not gonna get off on any tangents, and then we're gonna fucking move on to video games. Claustrophobe for $2. Where is Ghost Pepper Sashimi? Jeremy promised. Yeah, you're supposed to eat ghost peppers while you play Ghost Tsushima.
Fuck Batman versus Superman. That's my response to that super chat.
All right. Venom Snake
Fuck Clone
299
Wars.
says best fight in Dragon Ball Z. Mark Lethal.
The one that
Gohan
with Martha.
Gohan versus Cell. No, Jeremy, stop. We're not talking about the Snyderverse anymore. We're talking about important stuff like Venture Brothers. Gary, got you.
All right. Mikey Gussler, $5. BVS Ultimate Edition is based, and the Snyder Cut will be a completely different movie. Get your facts right. Thank you, Mikey. And then for another $5, he says, Jeremy, the 30 minutes improved BVS and explained plot holes, and the editing is smooth. Also, Keaton, Kilmer, and Bale killed people.
Why did Snyder fans always bring other movies up to defend their shit movie?
You mean you literally always bring up fucking Clone Wars? What are you talking about? You always bring up the Snyderverse when talking about other shit.
Covington Sheriff and Krista are correct. The Cell versus
that.
Gohan fight is the best fight in Dragon Ball Z.
You don't criticize the Clone Wars for storytelling. You criticize the Clone Wars for not following lore.
Man, Clone Wars ain't Star Wars. That shit ain't got shit to do with
for
Star
both.
Wars.
Exercise for both.
Shit is garbage.
No. You always talk about how they ruin this, they ruin that, yet you praise Snyder's bullshit when
they couldn't even get the voice acting right.
We need to have just a weekly Snyder debate podcast on a different night.
Ryan for $5 says I'm triggered by the lack of F-bombs, so that's why Uche's here. Maybe not the F-bombs you're thinking of. Blue-eyed Scorpio for $2 says we need a director's cut of this stream. No, I think it's good. Mikey Gusser, $5. No exceptions, Jeremy, and stop using box office numbers to say whether a movie's good or bad. Transformers isn't good, but it made money.
That's not my point. But a film with Batman versus Superman for the first time ever in the golden age of comic books.
That's not my point.
Make more than fucking $900 million.
Yeah, I agree.
Why?
It should.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, it should have, but because the studio fucked with the movie and ruined its entire continuity that it had before it was edited to shit, that's why I didn't do it so well.
Geeky Pixie for $5 says, good morning, geeks and gamers. So I'm late, been playing Ghost of Tsushima Legends all night. It's so much fun. How's my favorite group of guys doing today? We are doing well. Very well indeed. And speaking of video games, Ghost of Tsushima Legends. Lethal, come back on camera so we can talk about this. Mark, you have been playing Ghost of Tsushima Legends as well. How's it going?
Not very COD between that.
Yeah, not very extensively. I've only played a couple matches, but it's cool. I like it.
You got anything more to say about it than that?
This is why we have to fight during this podcast, because Mark doesn't know how to bullshit.
I didn't want to step on Lethal. He was the one asked first.
We just got done cussing each other out, and you're like, oh, sorry, I'm bringing my Canadian into
fucking
this.
Canadians.
Okay, so like I started
dropping F-bomb right now, Mark.
I started playing this pretty fucking good game on the fucking shitty-ass PlayStation Pro console, which can't even run one fucking game above 30 frames a second.
There you go. Show your anger.
CPU is fucking shit.
Be American.
These two were ripping on each other. Now they're ganging up on him.
Port the game to PC so I can actually enjoy it, Sony. Cowards.
That's how we do it in America.
Sweetie. You made me swear in front of the dog. I didn't even do earmuffs.
Okay. What was the question?
How do you like Ghost of Tsushima Legends?
You like Ghost of Tsushima Legends?
Oh, dude, it's wicked. It's fucking wicked, man. I've only played a few games, but it's awesome. Like, they've done like this really good job of like balancing out all the different classes. And I want to play as all of them. When it gives you the option at the start to pick which one you want to go with, it took me so long to pick which one because I wanted to go with all of them. I ended up going with Samurai, and I haven't been playing with like anyone I know, just with randoms online, and everyone's synchronized, everyone's playing to win and all that good shit. It's amazing, man. Like Ghost of Tsushima's combat is probably like one of the best things about that entire game, and they've really focused on it. And it's awesome, man. Like, it's just waves and waves of Mongols coming at you, and then Oni come at you as well, which is like Japanese demons. And the guy that narrates the whole thing is General Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. How awesome is that?
Wait,
man? I haven't done any of the story.
Uncle Iroh? He's that voice actor's dead.
No, he got replaced in the last season.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah, he got replaced in the last season. Yeah,
I was about to say because it was I think he was the same guy who did Aku in Samurai Jack, and also had to be replaced in the last season of Samurai Jack.
Yeah, I think they replaced him with the same guy actually. So now he does this. I haven't done any of the story. so I can't comment on that because they're its own story. But like, there's like progression, like leveling up all your different characters, your different classes, and all that stuff. And there's going to be a raid coming later. I'm looking forward to trying out that raid. Like, honestly, I don't have anything negative to say about it. It's
Is
just
this something we should
awesome.
play on the Twitch channel? Is it
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think especially with us coordinating, it'll be pretty good. I was only playing with match-made people, and there were some opportunities where like I was trying to tag in it because you can kind of tag one enemy, you can't tag multiple, and me and the guy I was playing with, or girl, was, I think, misunderstanding when I was tagging someone and saying, you kill that person, or saying, I kill that person. So we would mess up some stealth coordination takedowns. And there are certain enemies, at least in the story missions, I didn't play any of the survival, that are linked together by this sort of red sort of ghost energy. And you have to kill both of them within a certain time limit, or one will resurrect the other. So that's kind of where it's like you can't really play those missions solo, or it would be pretty difficult to, because you'd have to get lucky and kill them both really fast before they resurrect each other. But it's neat.
Yeah.
I don't know how the gear grind is going to be really. It seems like there's at least a few difficulties of each story mission, and there's 4 in total, 4 missions as of now, and then 4 survival missions as well. But I haven't tried survival yet.
I see Josiah is looking sexy with his check mark in the chat. It says Ghost Legend Stories is so good, so addictive.
Another check, huh?
God
What's
damn.
up? What's
Josiah,
up, brother?
That's crazy.
What's up, brother? What's up?
Synth Trooper called it childish man babies.
The only reason Uche agreed to go on here is because he's got his fucking check mark. That's it. That's the only fucking reason.
flexing the check mark on us.
Every raid, no, not raid, sorry, every like survival I've done, average about 30 minutes. So good fun, man. Like they keep coming at you. It's awesome. It's got like different spots you have to defend. If you lose the spots, like your base health goes down, and you can revive each other. Like it's so good. And every class has their different special ability and all that stuff. It's hard to pick which one you want to be because they're all good. They're all good. I haven't had anything.
I'm playing as a Ronin because I like having a little puppy sidekick. Isn't that right?
And Mark likes being a healer because, you know.
Yeah.
Because he's Canadian.
I tried I'm a Canadian Army medic, so like a couple steps beyond just Canadian for the healer thing. But I just asked in the group chat, I was like, hey, what class are you guys planning on being? And like nobody answered me. I'm just like, and then Lethal's like, we can all be the same class if we want. I'll be like, team composition, guys. Team composition is the thing.
We're just all gonna be samurai. You're just gonna be fucking healing us all the time, Mark. That's what's gonna happen.
I sort of wanted to be the assassin, but I don't know. I eventually went with Ronin.
You get different weapons and stuff. Like you unlock more stuff as you go. There's like challenges and daily challenges and all that stuff. So like you change your katana, you can change your bow, change your charms. All that
sounds pretty good.
It's great, man, and it's for free.
That is the part that is the biggest thing. This is a game this is a game mode that has come out for a game. It's essentially a whole different game. Months after initial release. What is it, about 4 months after initial release,
July to now,
to a game that was incredibly well received already. There's no microtransactions at all in any way, shape, or form. Even if you wanted to pay for something, you can't. And that's the kind of thing that we're sorely missing right now in the games industry. And it's very refreshing to see from Sucker Punch. It has a lot of people. They've built so much goodwill, not only with this game, not putting any identity politics in it, but then all of this free additional content that's coming to it.
Being pretty true to like Japanese culture too was really big for how the game, because in Japan it's even been well received because of that.
It's one of the biggest games in history in Japan. In terms of PlayStation 4 exclusives.
But they had a white guy playing the flute at E3, so they're racist according to most of games media.
God.
The guy who is like the best in the world.
Yeah, he's like a master of the extremely difficult instrument.
The same way that white phosphorus being used in modern warfare is
a war crime.
A war crime. Like what? Fuck out of here.
When 5 games ago you could drop nukes on people. That's totally Yeah, but this game, like the people that made the Yakuza series, they came out and said that this game's just absolutely amazing. It's super respectful. Yeah. It's one of only 3 Western games to get a perfect score over in Japan.
Yeah,
that speaks volumes. And the other 2 was GTA 5 and I think Skyrim. So those games are both like way up there, and Ghost is up there. I mean, we saw it was selling out like nonstop.
And in Japan, if you don't represent their culture in the correct way, they won't buy one copy.
Mm-hmm. Look, yeah. I mean, look what they did when the Bryan Cranston Godzilla came out. They spent like a year just ripping on how much they fucking hate it. Kind of like here with the last Mad Max movie. We just fuck that shit. That's kind of like them over there with that. So and they love it. Something got right, and man, they were telling people to buy digital. That's how much it was selling.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think with this coming out, this update, I think it's going to sell a bit more.
It took me forever to find it when I went to get my physical copy. It took me forever.
Just quickly, speaking of Yakuza, today and today only, there is a free crossover between Streets of Rage and Yakuza called Streets of Kamurocho. That is
I'm gonna go get that
on Steam. That for Sega's 60th anniversary. So it's basically a Streets of Rage game where you play as the Yakuza people. So yeah, if you're a Yakuza fan, then this is probably something you want to pick up today.
I love Sega with all my heart. So
no, I will call them out for doing the limited edition digital copy thing, which I think is stupid, but it's free. So, go for it.
I got my Dreamcast. Fuck, right there.
There it is. Yeah. Dreamcast is one of the goats and well ahead of its time. Well ahead of its time.
I like Uche's got the resistance bands up in the door there.
Hey, gotta get my triceps in every. Keep that horseshoe out. Feel me?
Hey, seriously. So, we got about almost 500 people in here. You guys make sure mods drop a link to our Twitch channel. We will be streaming a lot more on the Twitch channel. I'll probably get Lethal the stream key on that and get him set up too. He can stream, because I think with Lethal, if Lethal and Mark and Josiah and I don't know, one of you guys want to stream the multiplayer for Ghost of Tsushima, we might do something like that whenever everybody's got time.
Yeah, it's the survival missions that are 4-player. The story missions are 2-player.
Okay, yep. Okay. So,
and then those raids upcoming. Who knows when those will drop? But
I think it's like a month,
something like that. But it'll be fun. And I know Mark wants to see. Mark's gonna buy a PlayStation 5 just so he can play Ghost of Tsushima on it.
Yeah, no.
Demon Souls.
Demon Souls and Ghost of Tsushima. I actually the reason I bought Ghost of Tsushima was intending to play it on PS5 so that the frame rate would be better, because it really does bother me, guys. I don't think I can play games at 30 frames a second anymore.
Like we have to
broken.
we kind of have to calm him down before the show starts. He kind of goes into that whole Denzel mode in Training Day. He's like screaming about frame rate. We're like, calm down.
GPU.
You want to play smooth or you want to go home?
All right, let me catch up with these
with PCP.
Let me catch up on some of these super chats. Mikey for $5. When it comes to comic adaptations, there are many interpretations of comic book characters. There isn't one version of Superman or one version of Batman. Jeremy.
Well, then make him a tranny. I mean, fucking, let's just do whatever we want then.
Next best thing, they about to make him black.
Sky Trooper 501st for $2. Sony PlayStation Thought Police 1984 Twilight Zone. We're gonna get to that. Sky Trooper 501st. Primark Vulcan for $5. Jesse Eisenberg was the worst choice to play Lex Luthor in BVS. Bryan Cranston should have played Lex Luthor.
I didn't want to see that old oil tycoon style Lex Luthor. I never gravitated towards that one. I'm sorry.
Well, I think we should be seeing more of Jesse Eisenberg and his portrayal as Lex Luthor soon. I imagine in 2021 on HBO Max. I listen, of all the casting, there's two that I have gripes with, or that I can understand at least, and that's Barry Allen. I fucking hate Ezra Miller as Barry Allen. He's not Barry Allen. If you want to make him fucking some version, if you want to say that he's Bart Allen, okay, he's not Barry Allen. I think he's bad. I think it's a bad casting. And then Lex Luthor, I get that some people didn't like it. I think what you see is the beginnings of Lex Luthor in the same way that we see a beginning of Superman. And a lot of people had a problem with it. But I'm excited to see more of Lex Luthor after the Lex Luthor has been fucking humbled after what happened to him.
Yeah. I think
Geeky,
the Ezra Miller thing, we got to kind of like, I think to be fair,
we got to wait for that.
we got to wait for this because you can see already a big difference in how he acts just off the trailer.
I agree. And we did, all we saw was Joss Whedon's Barry Allen. So I agree with you on that. But even with the casting, I didn't like it. So
yeah, I can understand like the casting of him and Lex Luthor. People have problems with it. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Pauly D super chat.
Geeky Pixie for $5 says the story of Legends is quite good. It's 2-player co-op survival, is 4-player missions. It takes teamwork. I'm so looking forward to the raid. I'm a hunter. Nice, Geeky Pixie. Thank you.
Damn, I gotta get on that.
The Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews for £5. FIFA is the best football game ever. Well, if you play FIFA on the Switch, you got the same game the past 3 fucking years. So congratulations.
Quite literally.
It is like Madden.
I played the FIFA games back in the day a lot. They were great back in the day, but I haven't played them recently. I used to be
soccer is way better now.
Well, I used to be big into all sports games a long time ago, but they became so repetitive that I think like Michael Vick Madden was when the last time I was really into Madden, you know. But then like the next few years, it just felt really repetitive, and NCAA, I played those for a while. Obviously, the NBA live games, but then they just really got repetitive a long time ago, and I stopped playing.
That's because they don't have competition like NFL 2K. NFL 2K was the best football game. Well, I would say All Pro Football 2K8 was the best playing football game I've ever played in my life.
I think NFL 2K1 on Dreamcast is the last football game I ever bought.
I own that. I still own that one.
And I saw somebody who made a comment about NBA 2K being in the same situation as EA. And no, actually, it's not true. NBA 2K was so much better than NBA Live that EA actually quit the basketball genre. NBA 2K did not force them out.
They were trying to reboot NBA Live a whole bunch of times too.
And they rebooted it by signing one of the lead producers on NBA 2K. And it actually turned out being their best NBA Live in like years. Then they fired the guy. He went back to 2K. And then they canceled NBA Live within 2 years of that.
They're not wrong with the premise, though, that NBA 2K, especially in recent years, has become less innovative. It has become kind of the same game repackaged a little bit as they do make tweaks. Because I've played nearly every NBA 2K game over the past 6 years.
But it's still a great game, though.
But it is still the reason that it's that way isn't because there was no competition. The reason it's that way is because they've just gotten a little bit lazy. I think at least.
But they're. I mean, it looks like next gen with them is going to be right back to being. Looks like they're taking it up a notch. That trailer they dropped the other day was freaking amazing.
I still say Tecmo Super Bowl.
Australian money. You ever seen Australian money?
What's that?
Pretty similar to Australian Canadian money.
Is that even worth? What is that worth? That ain't worth. That's not worth even $1. What are you talking about there?
It's worth $10.
Oh, it's worth 10 American.
Probably about
American dollars.
Like 5 American, probably. Tecmo Super Bowl is my favorite football game ever. So
I wish they'd remake that in 3D, but just keep
Tecmo Beach Volleyball is my favorite sports game ever.
Sin Trooper says, please catch COVID-19. Bitch, that shit won't do nothing to me. I ain't fat. I ain't old. Go fuck yourself.
Hey, like I said, none of us have the physique of Chris Christie, so we might be in trouble.
That's
They said he was in the ICU for a week.
Problem wasn't for COVID.
They're like, you're about to have a heart attack.
That was for diabetes, yeah. Pauly D for €5 says, speaking of video games, is the style over substance critique of Snyder fair? Eisenberg's Luthor was horrendous.
I just like how he said, speaking of video games. That's what I was laughing about.
I would say that's the way a lot of people view it. To me, I think that there's a lot of meaning in what Zack Snyder does. So I think there's a lot of
what he does there. Goes over people's heads. It goes over their heads because he uses a lot of he does slide in a lot of metaphorical like representation in his film, but
I've said my
unless
piece.
you know history and shit,
I'll let the Snyder fans answer this question. I've said my piece.
Yeah.
We've got to stop talking
relax
about Snyder.
your tiny TCW.
The Snyder cast.
Paulie D for €2 says Ezra needs to learn how to run properly.
I did think about that when I was like, if I bring Uche on today, if this fucking argument goes again, it's gonna go for fucking 30 minutes now. I got 3 of these fuckers on here now.
I think we should make a rule to save the Snyder arguing until the end of the podcast, because I guarantee you there's people that clicked on this thing and we'd be talking about video games that are just like, oh, they're just arguing about the DCEU. Like, what?
Then we got 450 people in here because of that.
Day in hell before we listen to your advice for YouTube shit.
Yeah,
like,
I watch a
the
lot
guy
of YouTube.
who came into our fucking chat, who came into our stream when we were doing a PlayStation 5 event. He just pops in. He's like, guys, just so you know, they're not going to say anything interesting here. You should probably tune out. Bye. So
I did not say you should probably tune out. I said you probably shouldn't get your hopes up of them talking about anything other than technical specs, and that's what they did. So you're giving me shit for being honest to our audience.
Yes. We're here to entertain. We're here to entertain.
All right. That nobody guy for $10 says, "Good morning, y'all. I both hate and understand RPGing of a lot of franchises lately. It's the money. In my opinion, they did Desmond dirty. I'm still pissed."
I agree. I think that killing Desmond, what he's referring to is the end of Assassin's Creed 3. The character who was the main modern day protagonist of the Assassin's Creed series is killed off. And that was, in my opinion, a very bad choice. It sort of broke the story.
Yeah, I agree. And then they get stuck with these outside the anime doesn't really matter. You're not invested in it. Whereas it was a big part of the game for the first several Assassin's Creeds. Like you wanted to know more about Desmond. You want to know more about what's going on currently between the Templars and the Assassins. And that just became really moot point. It just became about exploring these ancient worlds as an assassin. So, but yeah, I do get it at the same time. Gal 316 for £5 says anyone who buys FIFA and Madden yearly deserves to catch COVID, and the Ghost of Tsushima update is trash.
Damn.
Give single player DLC.
New Game Plus.
They did give a new game plus on what's already a pretty big single player.
Do you think the single player story DLC for Ghost of Tsushima would come out 3 months later and be free though? Like, nope. I mean, I don't think a good job with that. I don't think there's a world in which Sony is doing like a single player expansion that they're just releasing for free. Their trend with single player DLC now is they make it slightly bigger than it would have been, and they charge $40 for it and make it a whole separate game. That's what Miles Morales is. It's Spider-Man DLC. Like, it's what Uncharted Lost Legacy is. It's what Infamous First Light is. Like, that's what Sony does with single-player DLC these days.
Agreed.
And the way the game ends, I don't want it.
I think that I don't think that there is I don't think there's a way to do Jin single-player DLC that would make sense, I guess. Like, I think that you can come back 10 years later and do a Ghost of Tsushima 2.
But
I don't think it would make sense for a DLC for this game with him as the protagonist, at least.
I see people on Twitter saying they want a DLC where you go to the Japan mainland and keep the fight going on there. It's like, well,
that would probably not be a DLC.
Comparing Tsushima to Japan, like Tsushima.
That would be historically incorrect.
Yeah. Yeah, and I see people coming up with good ideas, but I go, this sounds like a good idea for a sequel as opposed to a DLC.
Yeah, I agree. People don't really have much patience now, to be honest. They want it, and they want it now.
Cyberpunk.
And it better be the best thing ever, or it's garbage.
I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with wanting single player DLC, but I think in the context of saying, "Oh, this free Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer update is trash because it's not single player DLC," is being a bit unfair to it. And that's a person who is just coming from a person who is just ragging on the fact that the game runs like shit. So,
Paulie D for €2 says they were hunters scene in BVS was excellent. Thank you, Paulie D, for the €2. Geeky Pixie for $2. Honesty is the best policy, Mark.
Thank you.
And she spelled your name wrong, so she was talking to somebody else.
Mark, it's okay. I'm gonna take what I can get for now. I appreciate the compliment.
For now. Speaking of video games, gentlemen. PlayStation 5. There's a bunch of outrage about the PlayStation update for PS4, not only because it broke people like Jeremy's PlayStation 4, but also because of the update about party chat. Now, Lethal, did you see people talking about this?
Yeah. I did. I think there might have been some confusion at the start because it got me as well, because I saw people talking about like, this sounds kind of bad. Like what I was getting at was like PlayStation's listening to you and they're going to report all the epic gamer words you say. And none of us are innocent in that regard, especially Uche. But it turns, yeah, there it is. There's Keemstar going on with it like there. But it turns out that it's not quite what we thought, but it's still pretty bad in my opinion. I think this is more of an excuse to use Discord when talking anyway.
Yeah.
So
hey, that comment from Judson can't spell America without Mark. Hell yeah.
Objectively correct. But you can spell America without the incorrect spelling of Mark.
America with a K. So this is Keemstar tweeting out because this was trending. PS4 update. PlayStation 4 users are not happy about the newest update that reportedly allows Sony to record party chats for moderation purposes. And when you hear something like that, it does, like Lethal explained, it makes it sound like they're sitting there and they're recording everything that you're doing. They're listening every time that you're in a group chat with all your friends, waiting for you to say something wrong, waiting for you to say something to kick you off the platform. And you saw a lot of people talking about it. You know, PlayStation is now recording private party voice chatting for violations. If a group of friends want to make off-color jokes to each other privately, talk about freaky stuff or sexual content, that's their business. Xbox looking better and better lately. And it went on. You could see so many people talking about this new update, thinking that PlayStation is essentially spying on them. Now, that's not exactly what is happening. However, what is going on is also fucking bitch made. So Sony apologizes for recording voice chats confusion. They did go ahead and clarify what they are doing is not recording your shit and constantly looking over it. What they're doing is a new feature on PlayStation 5 that allows people to report others for harassment via voice chat. Now, when you decide to do that, if you decide I want to report this person for harassment, it will take the last 5 minutes and you can pick out 40 seconds within that to send to them. Oh my God, 40 seconds of game chat. So 20 seconds of the violation with 10 seconds on either side for their context. This doesn't mean that person's going to get banned. This doesn't mean that person is automatically going to get kicked off the platform. All it means is they'll take it under advisement and take action. What actions they will take, nobody fucking knows yet. But it is only when a player reports you for something in your party. So if your party wants to sit there and talk about whatever the fuck you want about furry shit, then yeah, you can talk about furry shit. And as long as no one reports you in your party, you're going to be fine. But the principle of these people being able to tattle on each other, I know how Jeremy probably feels about it. How do you feel, Jeremy?
Oh, it's just it's fucking pathetic. I mean, it's more of the pussification of society. At the end of the day, if you don't like what someone's saying, fucking block them. There's a fucking block button.
If you're in party chat, if you're in party chat, why are y'all in party chat even?
Party chat is what makes it even crazier because that's like you voluntarily entered into
with your homies. Like you're there with your homies. What are you gonna? Unless you're like trying to fucking troll your buddy and be like, yeah, I just reported you because you said this or that.
I mean, that is a possibility.
Could you imagine being so much of a bitch that you're in a party chat with your friends and you fucking report your friend for saying mean shit to you? How much of a bitch do you have to be?
Well, I mean I think Uche is probably more correct that it'll be dudes trolling each other. But I think the reason why people might be in party chats with people that they don't know, or if they use offsite LFG, like looking for game things for games like Destiny or Division.
Let's fucking go.
Well, exactly, where you want to like find like
what?
A raid group.
You said LFG. Let's fucking go.
No, the LFG is looking for goddamn looking for group or looking for game. Like if you go for an off platform thing or like in game, if you say, hey, does anyone want to do a raid? Then you jump into a party chat together. You're then in a party chat with a person you don't know. And my philosophy for that would be like, well, if you entered into a party chat with people you don't know and then they said something that offends you, it's on you to then leave, not be like, oh my God, they said a gamer word that offended me deeply.
Oh my God.
I need to tell Mama Sony. Like, come on, man. Like, this is why, like, honestly, Sony and Microsoft, even Nintendo, just add Discord apps to your consoles. Like, so then it's not your problem to moderate. It's Discord's problem. And
somebody's complaining to them, so they got it. So they feel like they need to put some kind of stopgap in there. I think that this is really I think it was a bigger story when we didn't really understand the details than it is now, because nobody's going to report on their own people in their own party unless they're just fucking with them.
Trolling.
That's it.
Yeah, and I do think that we need to get more information about this, because what are the repercussions? We've seen this in individual games, specifically Overwatch, right? Overwatch, you were able to report people for harassment over voice chat, and people got banned from playing the game. For PlayStation, they suspend your PlayStation Network account. The system that I paid fucking $500 for, I think
they probably sent you
can I just not fucking use it?
Email warning, a couple of, you'll probably get a couple strikes before they even decide to do it.
But what happens?
We don't know.
But then this thing that I've spent fucking over $1,000 on, probably, when you factor in all the games or whatever, all the PlayStation Network fucking subscriptions, all of a sudden
over several $1,000. Most people, like, when you consider that like 10 games basically is $1,000, like after tax and everything, and if you get DLC. Like, a lot of people have. Well, okay, that's also true.
Yeah.
Nintendo don't have these policies. Just saying.
Yeah, but you got to pay $60 for games that are like
welcome, Mark.
The cheap emulations of old games.
Might as well ban you, yeah. But that's what I think is we really need to find out, because the only thing that you could do to punish these people would be to ban them or suspend their accounts for a time, and even that is bullshit.
Let me ask you this. Have you got, so I the only thing I've ever done, I don't get in fucking parties anymore. Like, I use Discord, you know what I mean? But what I will do is, so I don't have to hear these fucking virgins when we're playing, TDM or something. I don't like hearing these idiots when we're in Discord, because you can still hear them. So I go into a party on PlayStation just to kind of, so it cancels that out, so I don't have to hear anybody or nobody hears me. And now it doesn't seem like you can just create a solo party anymore. Have you guys seen that yet? Or like, I had to actually add someone else in order to create the party, or was I missing that?
I did right now.
I did see that too, that you couldn't just create a solo party, that it had to, that they made it a little bit harder. It couldn't just be you create a party with a friend. It has to be like a friend you've messaged or something. Right. Well,
yeah.
Which then does make it even like now you have to be even closer to these people that you're forming a party with. Which is why I really don't think it will be that big of a deal in the long run. Like for me, it's not going to affect me at all, because I'm never going to be in a party with someone who's going to report me for anything like that.
Well, but what I'm saying though is it affects me in terms of, like, I just would create a party so I wouldn't have to hear these idiots. Because again, you have to be a psychopath to even be in voice chat in a random lobby at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
I think now they let you mute it though. They let you mute the whole like party chat, the whole group chat. Yeah.
That's what I do at the start of every game. I just fucking mute everybody.
Yeah, because nobody wants to. I mean, first, like, you don't really hear anybody chatting in the open chat stream because everybody's in a group chat. Or
you always hear that stupid fucking kid.
Yeah, there's a couple kids. There's always I fucking hate it when these people are speaking fucking Spanish or some shit, just yapping back and forth. I don't want to hear that.
Like, you're having a conversation in the open chat fucking line. Go into a group chat, you dummy.
Hey, but it's like we were talking. When were we talking about this? Were we talking about on the stream? Were we talking about Call of Duty? We're talking about the old Modern Warfare lobbies where you couldn't mute people and you just had to listen to them play the fucking music or some shit. There's always that fucking guy playing goddamn rap music or some shit. You're like, motherfucker.
I can't hear shit that nobody's saying. Turn that bullshit off. Hey, fuck you, motherfucker. I'll come whoop your bitch ass. Like, what? Huh?
Yeah, it looks like I just had to invite Uche to a party in order to create one.
Yeah, see, that's stupid, man. Whatever, though.
I remember
Uche, join my group so I can get your PlayStation Network account there.
Back in school, man, one of my friends on like an Xbox chat talked a kid into going upstairs and taking his mum's credit card out of the purse and read him the number.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
We got a pizza that night, man. It was fucking awesome.
That's it?
Oh no, we got more.
I'd be going on Prime Day,
you talking about on
motherfucker.
PS4, Mark?
Lethal's just trying to make it. He don't want to admit it. He don't want to admit everything else. He's just like, I got a pizza.
Let me another one on PS4.
Okay, hold on one sec.
Yeah, but that's the old school Xbox Live gamer chat. That's where you became a man.
You
became a man or began your transition. That was pretty much it. But yeah, overall, like I think a lot of people freaked out about it, and rightfully so, because the way that they announced it was really stupid. But I think it's really dumb. The entire idea of it is bitch made, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's really going to affect me at all. So I don't know. It doesn't worry me.
Yeah. I personally like. I mean, I guess like in isolation, Ryan's right, but at the same time, it's you have to look at the beginning stages of like, right. Okay, this is one step, and what's the next step, and what's the next step, So that's what it concerns me on. But yeah, I don't have any concern on terms of like how it's going to affect me directly in isolation, outside of the fact that I can't just create a solo party now.
I do think that, listen, 10 years down the road, they are going to be monitoring everything you say. They are going to be banning you if you misgender someone. Like that is going to happen.
I doubt it, dude. That's going to leave them open to all kinds of litigation, dude. You can't just.
No, it's not terms of service. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Right now, they have the terms of service that says you can't say the F word or something in your party chat, and they're going to ban you if you do.
There is now chat transcription. I don't know if that's been in before, but apparently party voice can now be converted to text. It's like
these motherfuckers are going high tech on them, ain't they? Shit.
I'm just like kind of poking around in the party menu here to see if I can even find where
that transcription. Yeah, I see it.
That's crazy.
Sam Space says, I just ghosted my current girlfriend. I'm a samurai.
Hell yeah, bro.
I think Ryan I think Ryan's got the best question of all, though. It's like, if I'm about to drop $1,000 on this motherfucker, what are you saying? What are you saying? Like, if someone says something,
there's the safety policy.
Safety. There it is.
Docs my real name at the bottom there, though. I don't care, though. You guys can know it. I really don't mind.
There's my first last name.
Maybe just put your address up too and let everybody know.
Everything.
No,
my social, everything.
I will not abide X-Ray Girl being doxxed, but no, like actually, the thing you guys make fun of me about the Colin Moriarty podcast that I was on, I'm not Mark the Cyborg even at that point, so I do use my own name. So my name's out there. It's not. It's not really that much of a secret.
I just like how Mark's so on the nose, like, that's my real name.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I just doxed myself.
There's a good chance that 3 people would have noticed.
And one of them cares.
Now
one of the things I did in the comment section of my Squadrons review, I point out the fact that I misspelled a word in my captions because it would bother me if I thought people thought I didn't notice. So,
what an idiot. He didn't even see that he put his own name on the screen.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like checking.
I
don't really care.
Actually just really mad that no one knows who he is.
Yeah.
On Geeks and Gamers.
Someone threatened me online.
Yeah, that's what's
I haven't gotten nearly enough death threats for the amount of time I've been a YouTuber. It's unacceptable.
All right. Let me get some of these super chats. Geeky Pixie, she says that. Then she says going to mainland Japan with Jin is like a Neo concept. There you go. What do you think about that, Lethal?
Yeah, I don't particularly like it. I think it's the Ghost of Tsushima, not the Ghost of Japan. I think
there was another fucking invasion 10 years later. Let's just do that for this.
Yeah, but it was only at one at the western coast of mainland, and it got fucking rejected like almost instantaneously. Like,
and it wouldn't
the Japanese island, they actually were the first ones to kind of beat the entire Genghis Khan, like, that whole horde of soldiers. Like, they beat them and sent them back. So
based off the ending of the game as well, I consider Jin's story done.
Completed. Yeah, like nobody wants to see Jin in Japan. Like he wouldn't go to the mainland anyway.
All Sony sequels to high-profile narrative-based games work out so well, though.
Oh yeah, we're gonna bash Jin's head in with a fucking golf club 2 hours into the
and
next.
If you don't like it, you aren't enlightened, misogynist.
Racist.
I have seen a few people asking. I have seen a few people ask about the GI Joe game. I haven't played it any more than the first few hours I put into it, but I have been thinking more about it. And people did tell me you can change up the controls a little bit to make them better. But overall, I mean, I'm gonna go back to it. I'm definitely gonna finish it. I kind of still feel the same. I mean, if you're a GI Joe fan, I think that it's a good GI Joe experience for you. But from a video game standpoint, it's just not a good game. It's the controls are bad. The enemies are repetitive. It's kind of frustrating to just to play through. Again, if you're a Joe fan, I think that carries you through because they did do right by the characters. They did do right by the world and the environments. But just yeah, it's not a good game though. Like, I mean, like if I let Mark review it, he would rip it apart. From a technical standpoint, it's not a good game. So if you're on the fence on it, I would say don't buy it. If you're a hardcore GI Joe fan, I think it's probably worth the $40. But you got to be a hardcore Joe fan. Outside of that,
3PO's playing it. Drunk 3PO should do a review for it.
He was playing on Twitch the other day. I haven't talked to him about what he thought about it. I'd be interested to know his thoughts because if anything, from a visual standpoint, aesthetically, I think it does Fortnite. It does look like Fortnite a lot. Which again, if you are a Joe person, if you've kind of grew up with these characters, you know these characters, like that's not really offensively bad because that's kind of it works into that the environment stuff, but just
the cartoons.
God damn, the fucking controls are just so fucking bad. And I know I said that a lot in my video, and people are like,
"It'd be nice if it had keyboard mouse support, eh?"
Fuck you, fuck PC. But yeah, overall, I will not recommend it to anybody that's not into GI Joe. Would not even close. So
there you go. Salsa Shark for $5. Wasteland 3 is the best PC game I've played this year.
I actually I have some footage of that I'm putting into. I just I'm working on a video of the Baldur's Gate 3 early access, like my I guess kind of review of the early access version or
What's
impressions.
Your character look like?
It looks pretty much like me. It's a white male with a beard, and that makes me apparently pretty boring according to Larian Studios. But Wasteland 3. I played a fair amount of, and Wasteland 3 is on Game Pass, both for PC and Xbox. So if you guys do want to play the game that he was talking about, if you have Game Pass, you can already play it. But I got stuck at a fight with a mob boss in a casino where you can choose to side with him, and then you walk out and the sheriff basically says, go up there and arrest him or I'm going to kill you. And I didn't want to betray the sheriffs because I like kind of playing neutral good or like chaotic good at worst, not really being evil. And then I go upstairs to kill the mob boss, and I keep on just getting worked by the mob boss and all those things. So I kind of stopped playing Wasteland 3. Yeah. That was that.
Yeah. Salsa Shark, also, before Mark interrupted me to get his bit in about the Wasteland 3, he also says Jeremy equals kind of sus. And especially if you're talking about Friday Night Tights sus, yeah, I agree. Not just kind of, the big sus. As it were,
amongst us.
Blue-eyed Scorpio.
The word "sus" is now a homophobic slur.
Yeah, that's why he used it talking about Jeremy.
Wait, how? It means suspect.
In the olden times, sus was used to describe gay men. I don't know. It's from Feminist Frequency. Feminist Frequency says that sus a long time ago it has roots in homophobic language. So, as everyone knows, Feminist Frequency is pretty sus.
Yeah, they also said that the strippers in Hitman were the targets when you actually like lose points if you kill them. So, like, I wouldn't take their word for anything.
Sus is an everyday word over here. Like every day, sus.
Nobody cares about Australia.
What is it? What does it mean?
Isn't it like tomorrow over there?
Isn't it like
it's today? It's today. It's today. It's 10 to 5 a.m. Sunday.
So it's tomorrow over there. Yeah, it's tomorrow.
What is sus when you mean it? Does it just mean that's suspect? That's sketchy? That's what
Yeah,
that
we
means.
go on
I
everything.
always
Like,
thought
if
stuff.
I
was
saw-
Suspicious.
Yeah.
If I saw a crack in my wall, I go, "Oh, that wall's sus." That we just say stuff like that.
Yeah, like that wall might collapse at any moment.
Yeah, something's not right.
Have you ever turned to a gay man and said you're sus?
Not in those exact terms.
No.
Like you're cis. You a cis.
Maybe. I don't know feminist frequency. I'm sure they know. They've done the research. Anita knows all. So I'm sure there's nothing wrong. They're 100% right. Sus is a homophobic slur, everyone. Blue-Eyed Scorpio for $5 says, I stream in party chat. When I first got that pop-up, I honestly thought getting banned while I'm gaming due to my language was a possibility. Yeah, the pop-up said, hey, just so you know, you may be recorded. That's what the pop-up said when you first joined a party after this update. Yeah. So, Geeky Pixie for $5. We don't need these snowflakes. Don't like something, just leave. It's that simple. Stop crying and grow up. That's why I can't stand squeakers.
I think honestly, I think they do it. I think they do it to get that complaining crowd to shut up. I really do. Because think about this: you report somebody in your own party. They're probably not going to do shit the first 5-6 times. They're going to be like, all right, we got you. We'll respond to you within 72 hours. And then that's probably going to be the end of it. But I think they do it so that they don't have to hear the complaining about why people can just say whatever they want.
You're never going to hear the complaining no matter what you do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's true too.
But I don't know. We'll see how this all plays out. It doesn't affect us generally right now, but I think it can down the road.
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking Blue-Eyed Scorpio literally just started a party with me.
Actually, he was saying that I needed to respond to his friend request. I should do that.
Yeah, all right. Time to go rest mode. Sorry, Blue-Eyed Scorpio. Live rejection on air. Salsa Shark for $5 says, Mark, in the casino, you sabotage the computer by the mob boss entrance.
See, but that's
if
the
thing. Let me fucking finish these super chats. If you threaten him with destroying the casino, he'll surrender. I'm done.
But the thing is, there's a guy guarding it, and he basically implies that he'll only leave his guard post if a fight breaks out in the casino. And the only fight that you can really have is with the mob boss. I might have to go reapproach that entire situation. This is why CRPGs break my brain.
There you go. All right. But speaking of video games, Elder Scrolls 6. Speaking of things that got blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 6. All the talk yesterday was Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be an Xbox exclusive. Phil Spencer just said that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be an Xbox exclusive. In reality, that's not what he said. He said the same exact thing that they have been saying since they acquired Bethesda. Now, to say this question hasn't been on our minds would be a lie, because the first thing we all thought when Microsoft bought Bethesda was, wow, that's a console seller right there. If all of a sudden all of these Bethesda properties become Xbox and PC exclusives. But they've been very clear along the way that they're going to take this step by step and on a case-by-case basis. They're not just going to say, no, everything's moving over to Xbox. And what got everybody talking the other day is this quote, and I want to share it. It's from fucking Kotaku, unfortunately, but that is the source of this, which you should be looking at. This is the question that got asked. Is it possible to recoup a $7.5 billion investment if you don't sell Elder Scrolls 6 on the PlayStation? Spencer says yes. Then he says, so he answers yes, we can recover it if we don't sell it on PlayStation. I don't want to be flip about that. This deal was done not to take games away from another player base. Nowhere in the documentation was put together, how do we keep other players from playing these games? We want more people to be able to play games, not fewer to be able to play them. But I'll also say that the model, I'm just answering directly the question you had. When I think about where people are going to be playing and the number of devices we had, and we have xCloud, PC, Game Pass, and our console base, I don't have to go ship those games on any other platform other than the platforms we support in order to kind of make the deal work for us, whatever that means.
Yeah.
So using that, everyone ran with the headline, Elder Scrolls 6 is an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, because that's what that means.
Right.
Yeah, that did. Yeah, I didn't read that as an exclusive thing either.
Don't get me wrong. I do think it will be. an exclusive. I just can't understand why they would spend close to $8 billion to get it exclusively and then put it out for everyone else. And it's also kind of a fuck you to Sony and all their exclusives, but it doesn't confirm or deny. I'm just speculating, saying I think it will be exclusive.
The argument towards it not being exclusive that kind of turned me around on being like, okay, yeah, that actually does kind of make sense, is essentially as an advertisement for Game Pass. Because if you got to fast forward to when people are going to be deciding to buy a console because Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out, like the system seller for that. If little Timmy says to Soccer Mom, yeah, go get me a PlayStation because I want to play Elder Scrolls 6. And then the person at the store says, well, you can get Elder Scrolls 6. It's $70 on this PlayStation 5 that you're going to buy for $500. Or you can get this Xbox Series X. And for $15 a month, you get 200 games plus Elder Scrolls 6. So, like, I mean, that it kind of like works as a value add and be like, okay, and then you're also getting 70% of the money from a full-priced game from all the PlayStation 5 sales as well. So either way, Microsoft kind of wins. Like,
I mean, I get that, but it's also perception is reality, right? So that's a complicated way for somebody to have to jump through in their head to figure out why something has more value. Not complicated, but it's multiple steps. In video games, saying that this game is exclusive is that holds weight. I think that Bethesda is going to have this final round of games that are in development now or close to being done that are going to be released on multiple platforms. And I think once that's done, everything is going exclusive to Microsoft, because that's what they're going to say is it's exclusive to Series X, not that you can go get it for $50 on PlayStation 5 and $14 over here. You can't even get it on PlayStation 5 because that's what PlayStation did to win last generation.
I mean, Microsoft already hasn't done that with Minecraft, though.
That's my thing. So Minecraft
is a massively played game already on
yes.
So Skyrim absolutely is as well. Like, yes, I mean, it's not on the same level of Minecraft, but it's like
a new chapter of that IP. They can get that mass base of players to their system without by not releasing it on PlayStation. They make them.
I think both answers are correct, and I know Jeremy hates that, but
weak bitch.
Well, no, I mean it's both. Like, I think Microsoft, either way, they win. Like that's kind of the point I'm making. It's like there's not really a bad strategy there. It's
all games are good, guys.
No, that's not at all what Jeremy. It's not what I'm saying even a little bit. I'm saying either way, ching ching. Like, I'm saying it's like if you could bet the same amount of money on red and black at a roulette table, but not lose either, you still get.
What I'm saying is that it's far stronger for the company and for their product to say you cannot get it on PlayStation than to say, oh, we're taking all the money because we're getting paid off everybody. No, you can't get it over there. You got to come buy ours or you get nothing.
I think they will make more. I think they will make more money if they sell it on PlayStation. Which
they make more money if they don't, because that means people who got PlayStations are going to have to go get Series X's.
It comes into what's the goal here for Microsoft.
They don't make a lot of money off a console. That's the point.
Right. But it becomes, what is the goal? Are you wanting to establish the Xbox brand as the dominant console, or are you just trying to become a publisher / console maker? I mean, I think Uche said it perfectly. Like, exclusive in the world of video games is a powerful term. It is a very powerful term. I mean, this is why Nintendo has what they have, because they have their exclusive Nintendo properties. And if Xbox can, Xbox needs a big Hail Mary.
They need exclusives.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know which way they're going to go. I know which way I would like them to go, and I would like them to go to the exclusive route, because I like competition. And if you are going to become competitive in the exclusive world, then it makes you more of a competitor to a Nintendo. And then that's going to make Sony have to.
Jeremy, like, exclusive content is
competition is good for customers.
No, it's not. No, it's not that kind of competition.
Absolutely is. Ask the Madden fans. Ask Madden fans. Ask Madden fans if competition is good.
Okay, look, I have an AMD CPU and an NVIDIA GPU. Ubisoft doesn't exclusively release Assassin's Creed games for AMD GPUs. Like that's just not a thing in PC.
Well,
Right,
you're
but
talking
no matter
about
what
hardware. You're talking about hardware in regards to
I'm talking about consoles.
a
hardware
modular system. That's a modular system. A PC is a modular system.
Okay,
just like the day.
If I had to have an Alienware PC, like a fully built brick, like from the store Alienware PC, in order to play Cyberpunk, I'd be fucking pissed.
Wow. I mean, you can pick what parts you want in that Alienware.
No, exactly.
You remember when professional wrestling was at its highest, when it had competition? The day Vince McMahon bought WCW is the day professional wrestling essentially died from a competitive standpoint.
How are they competing?
Head to head.
I think that Microsoft wins this.
They had different talent on different rosters, and they were competing. Who does Stone Cold Steve Austin sign with? Who does Sting sign with? Who does Ric Flair sign with?
And subtle jab at each other.
Listen, did anyone ever say, suplexes are only a thing you can do in WCW? That's what exclusive content is. You don't.
No, it's not.
Look, that's like saying you can only slam dunk. You can only slam dunk in the NBA.
No. Hold on. What the fuck? That's like saying Mario Kart, a kart racer, can only be on Nintendo. Microsoft could develop their own kart racer.
Yeah,
but they
with their own IPs as characters.
Right.
You can't call it Mario Kart. So
of course you can. Just like you could do but you could do a suplex in WCW or in WWF.
What if you call it a suplex?
Suplex is not an IP.
A suplex is not an IP.
Oh my god, it's so
a
hard
technique.
to talk to you guys
The talent on the rosters were the exclusivity of the rosters in wrestling. So when Stone Cold Steve Austin was the WWF top star and Goldberg was the top star at WCW, that's your exclusive games. And that's how you build your brand, off the exclusive talent that you have on your roster.
At making hardware. Yes, you're right. If you can't sell your hardware because you make good hardware, then you need exclusive software so that people have no choice but to buy your hardware to play it.
I like the anger in the Canadian voice. Let me tell you something, Canadian boy.
Listen to me. If the hardware is such shit, then why won't anyone else just make the software Nintendo is making if it's just shitty software on shitty hardware?
Nintendo makes good software, Jeremy.
Right.
So they should just make software.
Their hardware is made.
But that's why Sega is irrelevant now.
Nintendo's hardware is made with their software in mind,
yes.
not with anybody else's software in mind.
Right.
That's why particularly their games look really good for the hardware that it's running on, because they make their hardware for their software.
Look at PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale. Fucking shit game, ripped off Nintendo's idea with better hardware, and they couldn't even take Nintendo's idea and make a competent game with amazing characters.
Better for the PlayStation players if Nintendo was able to just port Smash Brothers to PlayStation.
I don't think that Smash Brothers on PlayStation is as an attractive title.
So they had to make their own knockoff game because competition is the only thing that matters.
Competition does matter. That's literally how how the economy grows.
Yeah, I know. If you don't compete,
competition doesn't matter. I'm saying software competition, software exclusivity competition is not good for us.
It absolutely is.
It's better it's good for the businesses. And if Microsoft doesn't want to see a repeat of what happened with Xbox One, then they need to have exclusives. Because Sony dominated them.
All MCU movies are now exclusive to Sony Blu-ray players.
They're exclusive to fucking Disney Plus. You ain't gonna watch it unless you go watch it.
And is that good? Is that good or is it bad?
It's good for Disney.
Is it good for us that say own a Netflix subscription?
You got a choice to make. You have to decide whether it's good for you. You got a choice to make.
No,
are you gonna own
another fucking subscription?
Are you gonna buy another subscription?
The market determines market. That's been my whole entire thing. The market determines the market.
This entire situation with Microsoft and Sony.
As long as two corporations are making this decision, I'm just going to bend right over and let you shove it.
So are you saying Batman should be available to be put in every movie that they want him in?
He should be in a Marvel movie.
So can we put Batman in a romantic comedy with Matthew McConaughey just because? Hey, why the fuck should anybody have exclusive rights to Batman?
If Warner Brothers wants to do that, they can. But no. Now you're
no.
getting to intellectual property exclusivity and whether or not that should ever be a thing, which is a much different conversation.
Wait a minute. I'm a Batman fan. I'm a Batman fan. I want to see Batman. I want to see Batman in the next Santa Claus movie, and I should be able to do that because that's good for the consumer. I want to see Batman in the next porn parody. You know, like what is it like?
And I mean, that happens.
I can help you with that.
Okay.
Would you prefer if Axel Braun got sued into oblivion for making his Batman porn parody?
The last generation of hardware in video games in the industry, excluding, not talking about PC, the last generation was dominated by Sony. They had a hardware product that was inferior to Microsoft's. They had really a game catalog that was kind of on par. They were both on par because during the Xbox 360's generation, Xbox caught up to Sony in their library. So there wasn't anything to really differentiate Sony and Microsoft on grounds of their software going into this generation that we're about to end. What separated Sony from Microsoft and really gave them a substantial lead in the video game industry was that they had exclusives. It's people had to make a decision, and they decided, I want to play God of War 2, and it's only on PlayStation. So I'm going to go buy a PlayStation, even though your PlayStation is weaker than the Xbox. And even though if you had God of War on both systems, it would look better on the Xbox. But that's not what Sony wants you to be able to they don't care about you buying it on multiple systems. They want you to buy it for the only system it's available for, which directly does.
I think does less to encourage them to make their games good and does more to not worry about making their hardware better.
It gave them a reputation of being the place to go for the best games. Right. So why would Microsoft give you access?
Third-person narrative adventure games that are all pretty similar to each other. Let
Ryan jump in. He's been very quiet
the whole time, right? Xbox the whole time in the ramp up to Xbox Series X. Xbox has been playing a different game. We've been talking about PlayStation. We've been talking about the exclusives while Xbox continues to push Game Pass, continues to do all this shit. And as we've just sat here over the past 6 months, they've doubled their Game Pass subscriptions with not even doing anything, with doing fucking effectively nothing. That is the route they're going. And just as soon as they sign on the dotted line with Bethesda, all of a sudden you get all these incredible games immediately on Game Pass. Doesn't mean they're not available on other consoles still as well. You can still play it on PlayStation 4. You still go out and buy it, but it's immediately
with the service.
Excellent value.
Right. They're competing with a service, and it is excellent value. So that has already added so much to it. And I think it's up in the air. So whether this will be an exclusive or not, but I do think that there is a ton of money out there. And at the end of the day, Microsoft cares about fucking money. And I think that they realize that they can drive people to their service because they're already not Xbox exclusive. They already saw all the shit on PC anyway. So it's not just about selling their hardware. It is about this Game Pass package. And whether you want to say, oh, well, they're going to make it exclusive so people get Game Pass, maybe you can say that. But it is all about the Game Pass thing for them. That is what they are pushing. And they've been very successful just the past 6 months. So I don't think it's an automatic, oh, yeah, they acquired that, it's going to be exclusive.
I think that by exclusive with Microsoft now at this point, I think it kind of is. I think they've kind of transcended that in their space because exclusive to Microsoft now means Xbox and PC because the PC market is an extension. The game market for the PC now is going to be an extension of their Xbox because they're going to have Game Pass and they're going to have the majority of those Bethesda and first-party entities also available on PC. So it's gonna. I think they're cornering the whole thing as we speak, and people realize it, but people aren't expecting it to play out how I think it's going to play out. So I think Microsoft is going to dominate this generation, like fully dominate it because they're cornering. They're cornering the market right now. And they're cornering it with PC and Xbox.
Yeah, but PlayStation, PlayStation's won every head-to-head matchup with Xbox
because of exclusives. No, and that was just this last generation. Because Xbox 360 beat PlayStation 3.
No, it didn't. You
not
thought
in
it did.
sales, not in sales, but Sony caught up in sales with consoles at the very end of that generation.
No. Yeah, no, I agree with that. And like I've told these guys, like I always had the impression that Xbox 360 just won that generation. I was an Xbox 360 guy. And they should have because Halo 3 was the biggest release of that generation by far. And Halo 3 was the biggest game, but they didn't stay with it, even though they had the exclusives. Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, like Gears of War at the time was an exclusive. Is it still an exclusive?
Well, it's there. It's a first party property.
Okay, yeah. So you've got Gears, you've got Halo, and you had some other titles. And PlayStation wasn't really known for any, titles that were pushing the limits outside of God of War at that point in time.
PlayStation 3 caught up at the end of the generation, but that generation was won by Microsoft.
It's like saying the fucking Falcons won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no. What I mean by that
is
is that the sentiment by the public, for the most part, was that for the majority of that generation, I had more fun. Dude, I had both of them, and I never played my PS3.
I'm going to send you Scott DeWaz's video on this topic because he will convince you that PlayStation 3 actually won, even though the perception was that 360 won. PS3 actually did win.
From a numbers game, yeah, I can agree with that.
Well, I just think from an overall, because if you look at the momentum that went in from the end of that era to the beginning of the next
momentum,
they completely took. So again, I'm just saying that I don't think it's as easy as to say that Xbox is. I mean, PlayStation has a brand, a long-standing brand that really resonates with the gaming community, and they've got to make some mistakes, and they are making a few, and Xbox seems to be doing the right things. But I do want to circle back to what Mark's closing thoughts are on all of this, because I do like seeing Mark worked up. We hit the emotional button on the robot, and it was beautiful. So what's your closing thoughts on this?
None of you will be spared when Skynet takes it.
Mark, I don't know if you played Detroit Becoming Human because it is a PlayStation exclusive, but I did.
You were like, and no, it's not. It's on PC.
You were like when the cyborg got the fucking red thing. That was you right there. Yeah. You were a deviant. You were
Android. They're all. They're all robots.
And I want to say, like, I don't dismiss Mark's point. Like, for instance, if the first Titanfall would have been widely available on every console and PC, I think we would have seen a different level of success for Titanfall 2. But Titanfall 2 essentially was Titanfall 1 because not a lot of people played Titanfall 1 because it was exclusive to the Xbox One. And so like games like Minecraft are just a huge success across the board because of the non-exclusivity surrounding the game. I understand his point. I just don't think he completely understands my point about competition. I think is better for the overall business, which if it's better for the business, it's better for the consumer.
I agree. I agree with you on that.
A better game.
Where I want to calmly explain in like a sentence. I agree with you that competition does fuel innovation. I just don't think that competing with exclusive software is good for the gamer. I think that competing with better hardware, better prices, and better services are good for us. Exclusive software is just like, well,
that right now,
fuck you. If you want to play this game now, you got to buy our $500 plastic box that's less powerful than your PC that can already do all those things.
Yeah. Like, no, I mean, again, I get it. Because, like, again, if in your world we would have a Titanfall 3, so you know what I mean? So I understand your point, and I want to make sure I do say acknowledge I do understand your point. I just think that it's bigger than a Titanfall 3. I look at it in a different way, but yeah, in your world, we would probably have a Titanfall 3 at this point.
Yeah, and I would also like just say that just because they bought it doesn't mean it's going to be exclusive. We saw Mark brought it up. I was going to bring it up too with Mojang. When they bought Mojang, Minecraft's one of the most sold fucking video games in history. When they came out with Minecraft Dungeons, it wasn't exclusive, right? It was available on PlayStation as well. So just because they didn't make it exclusive and then came out with a new next one in the series doesn't mean it's going to be that way, because they wanted to sell the software to as many people as possible to make as much money as possible.
Here's a question though. When we're talking about exclusives in video games, just based on what we know, based on what we've seen, exclusives in video games in the console market, aren't those more? Those are generally more of the story-driven, narrative-driven games. They're not.
Well, that's what Sony's finding success in, but Nintendo doesn't really. Like Nintendo does more.
But Nintendo's different. Nintendo's different.
I'd say Nintendo does
their IPs
Nintendo does
that are not ever going to be seen on another.
Nintendo competes with Nintendo.
Yeah,
They don't compete
they're
with
not
anybody.
releasing a Mario game ever on any other system, period. You're not going to get that. So it's different with them.
Except for the CDI Zelda, one of the great games of all time. Just kidding. That was a disaster.
Nintendo is kind of in a league of their own, if we're being honest. They don't really compete with anybody. So with Microsoft and Sony being direct competitors who were fighting against each other for dominance, a lot of the exclusives that propelled Sony to dominate this generation of consoles right now were the narrative driven games. They're not the multiplayer necessarily type games. They're the single player, fully, designed and sculpted around the hardware of Sony's system so that it takes the biggest advantage of what the system can do. And that's how they've marketed, that's how they've been able to lift the PlayStation system itself as such a dominant, player in the console competition. But with Microsoft, I think that, they've evolved that thought and they're going to the services route to provide you with the value for your pocket. But at the end of the day, there's still a lot of weight that Sony has by saying you're only getting Spider-Man Miles Morales on PS5. That is
you have to pay $70 if you want to get it with the remaster of Spider-Man PS4.
How much it sells. It's going to sell like fucking hotcakes because it's exclusive.
And because it's like one of the only things that's coming out new with PS5 that people want to buy.
I think they're especially with this launch, they're stretching their ability to be like, we've got the best exclusives. Because I mean, I just kind of brought it up at the beginning of the podcast, but let's face it, Miles Morales, it's DLC for Spider-Man 4. Like people can be like, oh no, they've tweaked the engine, they've done all sorts of, they put in ray tracing. It's like
they push away the general casual gamer's perception is that this is a new Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
Why? Because Sony is saying this is an exclusive title for the PlayStation 5. And you're getting a remastered Spider-Man on a game that just came out, a year ago?
I think the game, though, would make far more money. The developers who make the game would also make far more money if the game was releasing on every platform. I think the reason why this Spider-Man series, like the PS4 Insomniac Spider-Man games, are outselling all of the Activision Spider-Man games that were coming out over the course of the last few movie series, it's because it's good. Like the Beanox ones were the Activision, let's pump out a cheap movie game fast. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is coming out. Let's throw out a game within the year that it's being made. And that's why it wasn't very good. Whereas this one, they actually took their time, wrote a good story, made a pretty good game with some pretty lackluster stealth segments, let's face it. But for the most part, Spider-Man PS4 is a great game. And they didn't have the time to make a full-on Spider-Man 2 for this. I have a feeling Guerrilla was probably getting held up with Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon 2 Forbidden West. So they needed a launch title, and we're just like, okay, let's throw together a DLC that we'll do in the tweaked engine that we're doing for Spider-Man Remastered anyways, and sell it for slightly cheaper. But then we'll make it so that the upgrades that we probably were thinking about giving people for free, we're going to charge $20 for that and put it in the Ultimate Edition so that we can still have a $70 exclusive to sell our system with. But I honestly think the only reason to get a PS5, though, is Demon's Souls. Miles Morales is going to be fine, I'm sure, but Demon's Souls is the killer app, if you ask me.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to our mods because I see we're getting some spam and shit. But Christy and Stephen Walton, thank you guys. Again, the mods are there to keep control. So if the mods are asking you to do something, or if you get a warning, please respect those rules.
I got one a little earlier.
So, but thank you to everybody that is holding things down in the chat. We've got 550 people in here. You guys are clearly I've had a good time today with all the fighting.
It's been good.
I like fighting. I want Lethal's thoughts on this console exclusive battle, though.
He said his fucking 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, I started this whole thing, to be honest. I think it's been proven time and time again that exclusives help sell consoles, whether you like it or not. And I think I kind of agree with what Uche was saying. It got to the point where you might not like it, but this is your choice. Do you want to play this or do you want to play this? And that dictates what you buy. I think it's as simple as that. And I think all Americans are fucking crazy.
Yeah. And I just
does that include Mark, since you can't spell American without Mark?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I'll just say again, like I said before, we've been criticizing Microsoft all this time about they're not going to be able to do it. They're not going to be able to do it. And now it seems like they have a lot of fucking momentum because they have been focused on something that is not the traditional console war. They've been focused on Game Pass.
We're going to give you our library.
I saw somebody said Mark is an SJW. You are
Not
a
an
twat waffle if you think that.
I saw there was a question that was like, Mark is a liberal socialist. When he was like, competition is good. When he did that.
Yeah, no,
Like,
okay,
this is the
like,
beauty.
Competition is the most
Because-
capitalist thing you can fucking present somebody.
Mark,
in this kind of thing.
I do agree that competition is good. I want to be clear about that. I'm saying that having the argument to be like, hey, let's talk about exclusivity and whether or not it's good for consumers at all, and then immediately being like, no, just blanket the argument is competition is good. It's if anyone watches like PSA Sitch, Sitch's Law, it's that 90% of arguments on the internet are arguments over definition that people just don't know it. So like I was arguing about a slightly different thing than you guys were arguing. And most of the reason I got frustrated is because I was trying to get you to understand the definition of what I was actually talking about. I wasn't saying competition is bad, blanket statement. I was saying specifically this type of competition is bad for this type of person. With the person being us, which is why I was trying to argue on that side.
Hey, all I'll say, Mark, is they know your name now. That's all you wanted.
Carl Mark, come on.
Carl Mark.
Shit.
You aren't the new guy anymore now. They know who you are.
We need that. We need the fucking typical like Karl Marx picture.
I got a
And
bracelet
fucking-
from
that
Zero
with Mark's
Foxtrot
face,
that says
like in the
"Slay
black and white.
commies."
That needs to be a profile picture, please. We already got Mark Zero. Now we need Karl Mark.
Hey, again, every Saturday, guys, this is going to be here on the main channel. We want to continue to build up this audience. So, we're happy. We're loving it over here. So it's some good stuff.
Soy in him. What? Now I gotta stop looking at the chat. What's soy?
Geeky Pixie Rita doesn't have room for soy. He lost a leg.
I'm a soldier who's been through an amputation, man. Come on. Like,
I like how you present it that way, not being like, oh, it was just a medical thing. That's why I lost my leg.
Hey, whoa. It was, but it sucked. No. Okay, I didn't lose it in battle. I want to be clear about that. But like, I do.
You're
know
talking
how
to a soldier who lost a leg.
Okay, like I know how to handle a machine gun better than most of the people you'll run into at Starbucks. Okay, I'll say that much.
True. I've got a pretty good KD on Cold War, so I'm basically
I mean a real machine gun, Jeremy.
They've done studies. If you're good at modern warfare, you'd probably be good at war.
That's it.
I don't agree.
No, they actually have done studies on soldiers who were like big gamers.
I've been through enough war games.
Better hand-eye coordination in the field.
Well,
Mark's
even
literally
just
in the
like
military.
when we do like war games, like where we actually do have like exercises that we're simulating like combat situations, there are essentially zero transferable skills from video games.
No. I'm not talking about the skills. I'm talking about hand-eye coordination was better.
Oh, okay, maybe
was more improved with soldiers
reaction
who were in the field.
Geeky Pixie for $5 says, I started out on 360 as well. I just left Xbox during the time that PS Plus was free. Couldn't afford both. I stayed with PSN though. I really miss my friends too. That was a big thing too. The fact that you had to pay for Xbox and you didn't for PlayStation. I know a lot of people made the transfer over and then PlayStation started charging and you just stuck with what you had. I kind of forgot all about that, to be honest.
I forgot about that until it's just brought up now.
Dude, I kind of like went to PS4. I think I went to PS4 because I got it before I got my Xbox One, or I had an Xbox One. And it was kind of, I mean, like we all know, they kind of started off really shitty. And I was like, And I got a PS4 Pro. And the part that I do miss about my Xbox was that I had, my friends list was like, everybody was on Xbox with Xbox 360. Now I'm on PS4 and I have like a PS4 friend list that's weird because it's a lot of people I don't really have never met them. I didn't play many games with them. And all my, old teammates are on Xbox and all got Xbox gamer tags. So I can see where there's a little bit of a disjointedness when you go from one to the other and you're like kind of trying to figure out which one is the most comfortable.
Game Pass Ultimate, though, includes Xbox Live Gold. So technically, if you're subscribing to Game Pass Ultimate for the games and being able to play like the big library of Game Pass games on both PC, on all of PC, Xbox, and phone, like on xCloud, or I think they changed the name of xCloud now to like Microsoft Game Pass Mobile or something like that. It's a stupid name. But all of that includes Xbox Gold. So you technically, if that is how you interact with Microsoft's catalog, you don't have to separately pay for online play. which
Right.
I mean, I think they need to be more clear about that messaging, but like in a way, Xbox multiplayer is freer than it used to be.
Xbox multiplayer was the best by far when it started. I'm an OG Xbox Live. Very first day one.
I remember defending
consult, baby.
I remember defending the Wii online because it was so shitty, but I'm like, it's free, motherfuckers. They don't even make you pay for it. Well, now they make you pay for it and it's still shitty. So
unlike Steam multiplayer, that's free and it is good. So
all right. So Christoph, the Polish guy, says, for what I assume is Polish money, I was looking forward to Elden Ring.
Based Poland.
Looks like it's canceled. No new information. Dark Souls creators. I think it's.
I don't think it's canceled.
Stuck in developmental hell. I don't think it's canceled though. I know that people are like, we haven't heard anything about it in 6 months. Is it canceled? I don't think it is.
I think they were probably pressured by Bandai Namco to release that initial CGI trailer, and like From Software is one of my favorite companies as far as like the games they've made recently, and I don't think they like showing things until they're pretty much ready to go. That was kind of the deal with like Blood. Sekiro was announced like 6 months before it came out. And then they just announced Elden Ring, presumably years before it would be ready. Yeah. I think a lot of people are saying, oh, Elden Ring's got to be canceled because now Demon Souls is coming out and From Software is like not showing anything about, they've just moved on to Demon Souls. Blue Point's making Demon Souls, like From Software has nothing to do with that port. I'm pretty sure it's just that they made the original game that it's based on. Blue Point's basically remade the game from the ground up. So I think we'll probably hear something about Elden. Yeah, and also George R.R. Martin's writing.
Oh my god, dude! I'm forgetting about what the hell you're talking about. Come on, I was playing.
Yeah, George R.R. Martin's also writing Elden Ring, so that might be a bit of the holdup too. I'm not going to say that's off the table. I agree.
He's probably working into it between his Winds of Winter that he's never going to finish.
Well, after Dark Souls 2 was kind of like dumped out as quick as they could get it, I prefer when From Software takes their time on games because I really didn't like Dark Souls 2.
Nico Blue Star Woke became a member. Thank you very much, Nico Blue. Appreciate that. Tyler G for $2. Exclusives benefit corporations and hurt consumers. What do you say, Mark?
I'm sorry. Say again. I was reading up on what people were saying about Elden Ring in the chat. Like that, I'll admit I spaced out on
he finally got some love. Somebody's agreeing.
He wasn't even listening.
Well, oh man, that was about me. Now I feel really bad.
Exclusives benefit corporations and hurt consumers.
Yes, that is correct. No, like, I'm serious about that. I'm not just playing. Like that's kind of what the point I was trying to make. Although I have a feeling that if these guys were in the room with you, they'd probably just be like, "But competition good," and then it would blow up into an argument.
Project Utopian for $10. Good show, guys. Thanks. You're hilarious, Mark, spelled properly.
Oh, thank you.
And screw PlayStation. At least Xbox hasn't started recording your VC for later SJW review. Much love. Well, thank you, Project.
We could probably all get kicked off PSN for like this stream alone. There were so many F-bombs. I'm sure it offended somebody.
Probably.
I think I swore tonight.
And then Christoph, the Polish guy, for more Polish money. Time for controversy. Best Mario game is Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Haha.
I mean, that's
Mario World is the answer.
Super Mario 3.
Galaxy's the answer, but Thousand Year Door is definitely the most well-received Paper Mario game. World, I won't argue with that one though. I mean, World or 3, can't argue with World or 3. But I just Galaxy
World over
is
3.
I
would argue World over 3.
World's the one with Yoshi.
3 wouldn't have. World wouldn't have happened without all the things they were doing in 3, though. I think World is the evolution of what they started in 3.
I agree with that. But yeah, Galaxy for me. Galaxy's best for me.
Yeah, I'm all about the Yoshi one. Yoshi's
in Galaxy too.
Iconalis for $5 says, for me, Mark will always be the guy that made Ryan run out of the room screaming on Phasmophobia.
I did troll Ryan pretty good when he was playing Phasmophobia.
It's pretty good.
Hey, so I'm trying to get it set up so Uche is going to host the next Phasmophobia stream.
I think I'm going to host it next
week. So we're going to try to do that next week. As a matter of fact, and I'm trying to see right now. I don't know. Ryan, I mean, tell me because I'm asking Josiah, but Are you available to if we bounce off of here and start a Cold War stream, or do you have time, or do you have stuff going on?
Same thing. I was going to try and do a Cold War stream after this.
I don't know if I can do it right out. I don't know if I can do it right after this.
Okay, I'm trying to see if Josiah is available. I mean, Uche, do you want to stream it on?
Yeah, I can jump on it.
Geeks and Gamers, or do you want to do it? You good to do it on Geeks and Gamers?
I can do it on Geeks and Gamers. Yeah.
All you got to do is we just need to give him the stream key, correct? Right.
Well, and he has to. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Lethal,
we would need to set them all up on Streamlabs and everything because.
Okay.
Mark on Twitch.
Yeah, so maybe 30 minutes after we finish this, so I can get everything set up, get the rundown.
Yeah. So as soon as we wrap this up, I would love to get a few hundred of you over there to watch us playing Cold War. We'll see if we can make that happen. Go follow us over on Twitch, Geeks_and_gamers. But we're not. I don't know if we have anything else, Ryan. I just wanted to ask you that.
We'll get a couple more super chats and we'll just go and say what we're playing, and then we'll be done.
Okay.
Nico Blue Starwalk for €10 says Snyder is a genius, and he capitalized genius. So thank you very much, Nico Blue. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
The Fezman 93 for £5. Thoughts on Crash 4, Mark?
I haven't played it, so it looks good, but
speculate on it.
I think it's only on Xbox and PlayStation right now. So
whoa.
It'll probably come out on PC. So, but again, it's not like it's a game I'm pumped for. So I have really no feelings on it one way or the other. I think it looks all right though, and I think if you're a Crash fan, it looks like they did a pretty good job with it. But
it's not something I have zero interest in playing.
There you go, Jeremy. Maybe if it was on PC, I might have bought it out of curiosity.
I'd rather play fucking Tomb Runner or something on my phone.
Temple Run.
Yeah, Temple Run. That's what I'm thinking of. Or Temple Run 2. That one was really good. Larry for $2 with a thumbs up sticker. Thank you very much, Larry. Geeky Pixie for $2 says, I'll be there. Sassy Little Jasmine is my Twitch for now. Thank you, Geeky Pixie. And with that being said, what have you guys been playing this week? We'll start with Uche. We'll start with...
Just wait.
What?
You're perfect. We love you.
I said I asked you a question. I didn't know you were gone.
I mean, I did the camera stop.
You did the camera stop, so that means you're gone.
You might have been picking your nose or something. There was a lot of.
No, I was just packing. Oh,
Lethal's gone.
All right. Yeah, it's like not available. Don't ask me shit right now.
Fucking verified Twitter account doesn't know how to type in the private chat like we've all been doing. Oh, be right back. Oh, give me a second. Uche, what have you been? Are you available?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what a shock. What have you been playing this week?
Oh man, this week, I mean,
that was good.
I mean, I've been playing that PGA 2K21 a lot. Like that's one game I've been playing a lot of. Modern Warfare is always in the mix, and now Cold War is going to probably be the thing that I play the rest of this weekend. But overall, I mean, I'm excited to get back on Ghost of Tsushima, so that's going to be something I'm going to continue to play this week too. So, all good stuff. That's what I've been doing.
There you go. Well, thank you, Uche. Lethal, what have you been playing?
Ghost of Tsushima, obviously, Modern Warfare, Avengers, and the Kingdom Hearts Melody and Memories demo, which is absolutely beautiful.
You got to do a video. Oh, by the way, I do want to give a shout out to Lethal. Lethal's been doing some great videos for the channel. Mark's been doing some good stuff. We got a lot of good stuff that we've been putting on the channel. I know it's going to take time to build that gaming algorithm up for this channel, but really good stuff from you guys. So appreciate that.
Avengers is probably the game I am most disappointed I spent my money on ever. I've never been so disappointed in spending money.
You and everyone else, right? So, I like the drop off for that game is ridiculous. So obviously, we only have like the Steam numbers to look at, but when you compare it to other things, right now it's sitting around between 225 and 250 in ranks of how many people are playing it right now on Steam. It's around where Battlefield 5 is at. There's the same number of people playing Battlefield 5 at any given time on PC as there is playing Marvel's Avengers.
God, that game disappointed.
But you have to remember that Marvel's Avengers peaked in September at 30,000 people playing. Battlefield 5 only peaked at 9,000 ever. That's incredible. And that's how big of a drop off that game has had. Yeah. Mark, what have you been playing?
I have been playing mostly Baldur's Gate 3. I finished the early access content and just wrote up a script for my like review / impressions. I don't really want to call it a review because the game's like only a third finished. But it was quite good. I liked it. I have a lot of thoughts on it. I also played a couple different CRPGs capturing footage for that review. A fair amount of the Cold War beta and a bit of the Ghost of Tsushima Legends. So yeah.
Oh my god, Nerd Cookies is here.
Nerd Cookies.
I don't know Nerd Cookies.
Nerd Cookies is awesome.
Lethal is a fan. I know this much.
Yes. Jeremy, what have you been playing?
I've actually started to play one of my favorite games of all time again, which is Half-Life 2, which is on behind me right there. Love Half-Life 2. Mark did a playthrough of Half-Life 2. Did you do episode 1 and 2 also?
I did most of episode 1, but then you guys canceled my streams because there wasn't enough people watching.
But yeah,
the people who were though were men of culture.
If you have never played Half-Life 2, has everybody here played it?
I have. I never finished it.
Yeah, I didn't finish it, but I played a lot of it.
Greatest game, probably like it's definitely objectively one of the greatest games ever. Would you agree with that, Mark?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, it's fucking fantastic. Fucking fantastic game. And today it still holds up. I mean,
yeah, especially I played it with the M mod, like MOD, and it really modernized a lot of aspects of the game in some cool ways too.
Such a great
cleaned
game.
Up the lighting and things.
But outside of that, just I played Modern Warfare with Ryan the other day and on his channel, and then I've been playing this Cold War beta, and I'm really enjoying it. So, like I said, we're gonna hop over to Twitch here soon, and we're gonna play some of this Cold War beta, and hopefully you guys will join us over there, and we'll have some fun doing that.
There you go. We do have a couple more super chats here. Nicholas Glenn for $2 says Trump 2020 Uche lol. So trying to get a reaction out of Uche there. Thank you, Nicholas.
Uche don't react to politics unless I'm on Facebook.
Oh God, yeah, fucking mute that motherfucker if you got him on Facebook.
Literally all it is.
And on Facebook, I'm actually a bit of a troll.
Yeah, I just see Uche post. I never fucking interact with anything on Twitter, on Facebook. So I'll see Uche post, and he'll just say something, and it'll be like 10 interactions. That'll be like ranging between laughing, liking, and mad, and then it'll be like 128 comments on his post.
and I've only commented on like 2 of the comments, and I'm gone. I come back and check it 3 days later, and I'm like, oh my god. They went to war in here.
Christoph, the Polish guy, for another 25 Polish monies. Probably not topic for here. How do people become Geeks and Gamers members? Parentheses, actually making videos. How do you become a member of the team?
I think we all probably had different stories.
Yeah, there is no rhyme or reason of how to become part of the team. I don't actively search for people, and the more you ask me, the less your chances get probably. But that's not to say you can't. I mean, you make initial, like, okay, so the other day, for instance, and I forgot to send this to you, Ryan. I was going to send this to some guy commented on my G.I. Joe video, and he's like, yeah, he said, man, I'm glad you said this. You know, I made a video on this. I'm getting killed. You know, the Joe fans are coming after me, but I agree with everything you said. And so I looked at his stuff. I was like, I like this guy. He's kind of cool. You know, it's just, there's no rhyme or reason of how I determine what happens. Like Mark just fucking offered what? Like, hey, I've got gaming videos.
Well, because I was replying to a tweet that said, why does Geeks and Gamers never talk about video games? And I just started like making video. I think that was like the 3rd video I made that, or 4th maybe. I was just making just as a hobby. And I was like, hey, I make gaming content, then just posted my link in the reply. And then like 2 days later, Jeremy's like in my DMs, like, hey, will you make gaming videos for me? And I'm like, what, really?
Yeah, because I watched this video, so I was like, holy shit, man, this guy makes fucking phenomenal content. And I didn't know how bad of a YouTuber he was at the time, but I knew how
I'm
good
a very bad
videos
YouTuber.
But yeah, and so he just kind of came across the radar. Uche reached out to me after watching for like a year, just studying everything we're building here. And Uche's got a lot of Uche brings a lot to the table. As much as he annoys me because he won't shut the fuck up half the time. You know, he No, but Uche brings a lot to the table, obviously being a former NFL football player, and he has a lot. I think as Geeks and Gamers grows, Uche is going to be able to really help us in so many different ways because he's a businessman and he has a lot of connections and obviously a lot of knowledge. It's what we do. Lethal just has a really big penis and he has contacts in the porn industry, so I figure that's a win-win, you know. So.
Basically, Ryan shield for me.
Yeah, that's what it is. But Ryan, I met Ryan at San Diego. It was a lot nicer back then, a lot more respectful. He didn't tell me to go fuck myself, which I probably would have brought him on the team sooner if he would have done that. He was actually really nice to me.
Yeah, he probably would have invited me on the first time I met him instead of 2 days later. The second meeting.
No, but Ryan was great, and I knew from when I met Ryan, I mean, it was pretty obvious nothing was gonna really give an expectation of what Ryan was able to do. Ryan has been just he's been amazing really since he came on. So but the whole point of that answer is there's just no rhyme or reason. I don't actively look for people. With that said, very soon we are going to be putting an application for contributors to the website in terms of writing, and that's just it's just voluntary. We're going to see if people want to, and that is not my decision to make, though. Alex is our editor-in-chief. I don't care if you know me. It doesn't matter if I tell you you're good. Alex makes all the calls on the website. So
shockingly, Jeremy has enough sense to realize that a high school dropout shouldn't be deciding what goes up on his website in terms of writing.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, Alex is awesome. Alex has been with me for years, and he makes all the calls. And so, but we may be putting that up on the site very soon. So if you're interested in that perspective, and it can get you in the door. But yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to how I make my decisions in terms of bringing people on. People just stand out for different reasons. So that's right. It. I mean, if Mark would have came to me and just ran his mouth about Nintendo, I've been like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have liked me very much. No. Although the game that I reviewed that I sent you is on Switch as well. It was Bloodstained Curse of the Moon that I still haven't got around to playing the sequel for, even though I loved the first game.
Shameless plug.
Corey Timmons.
I'm saying it was on Nintendo.
Corey Timmons for $2 says puck politics. You might have meant puck politics. I will accept either, though. Thank you, Corey. I think a lot of people agree with those sentiments. Christoph's the Polish guy for 25 more Polish monies. Does Alex make videos for this channel? No, Alex is the editor. He writes articles and he looks at everything before it goes up on geeksandgamers.com.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alex is awesome. But yeah, so this has been a great stream. I've had a lot of fun.
Oh my God, no. Steph always captures me at my weakest moments.
All right, so this is how we're going to end it, guys. We're going to watch this clip of Mark raging. I think that'll probably be a good way to end this stream here.
My puppy.
Let's see.
And I would like them to go to the exclusive route.
Exclusive content is
competition is good for customers.
No, it's not. No, it's not that kind of competition.
Look at it, it's building.
The Madden fans, ask Madden fans if competition is good.
I have an AMD CPU and an NVIDIA CPU. Ubisoft doesn't exclusively release Assassin's Creed games for AMD GPUs. Like that's just not a thing in PC.
A modular system.
I had to have an Alienware PC, like a fully built brick, like from the store Alienware PC in order to play Cyberpunk. I'd be fucking pissed.
You can pick the part you want in that Alienware.
No, exactly. How are they competing?
They had different talent on different rosters, and they were competing.
Jeremy, each other. Listen, okay, did anyone ever say, okay, suplexes are only a thing you can do in WCW? That's what exclusive content is. Hold on.
That's your Wings of Redemption moment.
Oh my God, yeah, it finally happened. If you shit at making hardware, yes, you're right. If you can't sell your hardware because you make good hardware, then you need exclusive software so that people have no choice to buy your hardware to play it.
This is the anger.
Right. So they should just make software.
It's made
with amazing characters.
Better for the PlayStation players if Nintendo was able to just port Smash Brothers to PlayStation. Or was it better for PlayStation players
as an attractive title?
They had to make their own knockoff game because competition.
Doesn't matter.
Competition doesn't matter. I'm saying software competition, software exclusivity competition is not good for us. As long as you corporations are making this decision, I'm just going to bend right over and let you shove it Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay? That's not even from the same day.
I didn't even see that one.
Steph just has a bank of clips of me telling people to fuck off or something.
Completely different clip.
What?
I'm retweeting that. I'm gonna retweet that from Geeks and Gamers and say,
oh my god.
Here, let's see. The G&G echo chamber.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess that's a good.
It wasn't everything that Mark was saying was reflecting back at him, and no one else heard it. That was Mark's echo chamber. But
yeah,
thank you guys for being here. Thank you for that clip, Steph. Thank you for all the super chats, all the love, support, the likes, the shares. Thanks for everybody for being here, and Uche for being our special guest today.
Twitch, we'll try to be on Twitch in the next 30 minutes. If you guys want to go over there and raid Krista's stream right now, she's playing Smash Bros. And she'll probably raid us when she's done. So we'll see you guys over there playing some Call of Duty. Looking forward to it.
There you go.
Hey,
We will talk to you later. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Boom.